the VA says they can't prevent her from allowing visitors. His mom to this day has not seen him. His dad did see him, so his mom told me yesterday that his dad was able to be snuck in by the VA, who was sympathetic to him because he had not yet seen his son. And they brought him into the room at midnight after she left. She stayed all day trying to prevent his dad from seeing her. We have absolutely no proof that he's off the vent, only what she says. He has a trachea. Even if he's off the vent, that means nothing. He's never going to recover. He will never have brain activity.
Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? Happy Monday? Yeah, happy Monday. Almost Tuesday because it's going to be midnight here pretty soon. Thank you for staying up. Shout out to my insomniacs for being here. Welcome to my channel. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. So I'm going to try to make sure that this live is not too long, like I said, because I don't want it to be too much information that, people get overwhelmed when it's too much information, when it's like 4 or 5 hour live streams. So basically, I want to give you guys as much information as possible, but not like too much. Even if I have to make another live stream, then I will. So basically, a lot has been going on, and you guys know that a lot has been going on since this started. Let me say hi to everyone. Paige, how are you? Hey, Goose. Hey, X Sparkle. Let's see. Jill, how are you? Judy, have you been a member? If not, welcome to the Glam Fam. Hey, Crystal. Hey, Jamie. Jill B. Hey, Tammy. Roddy Girl, how are you? Kellyanne. Keeping up with KP, how are you? It's good to see you guys all here. I'm so excited. Okay. The Best Mama Bear, I like that name. And Chamberlain, Daphne Snow, how are you? Hey, Kristen, you're still up, I see. Hey, did I miss somebody? No, I didn't miss anyone. Hey, Brandy Gray. Okay, so a lot has been going on, which we already knew that this was going to happen. Most people did. We were just kind of hoping that it wouldn't happen, but obviously it is, and it needs to be acknowledged. Now, I want to address a couple of things before I start talking about the disaster that is Without a Crystal Ball. I want to be clear here. I don't bully people, okay? Never have, never will. I was bullied throughout high school. Some of you guys know this, some of you don't, but I used to get threatened to get my face cut up all the time. I used to threaten to get jumped. I almost have been jumped. I've been in fights to defend myself. You name it, I've been through it. I was the girl that had to stand alone. So I know what it's like to be bullied. Therefore, I would never bully anybody else. So I would never tolerate anybody talking about Katie's looks. Like if somebody was to say something like, one time I mentioned like her Botox, because it does look like it's very hard for her to make facial expressions. Am I against Botox? No. I don't have it. I might get it one day. I'm not ashamed of that. I'm not against, altering your appearance to be happy. That's not me. So that's as far as it would go as far as me making comments about looks. I don't talk about people's looks because I don't have to. I'm confident enough in myself. And when you talk about people's looks, that pretty much sums up you. However, I do know that sometimes it's hard not to talk about Without a Crystal Ball's looks, because she talks about other people's looks. She's actually always putting somebody down in one way, shape, or form. You see her doing it. She's talking about even Dre McCray, talking about how she does her makeup and blah, 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 blah. And to be in reality, she's just mad because she can't do her makeup like her. Because as much as I don't care for Dre, I am not afraid to admit that girl can slay some makeup. Okay. But we all have our own preferences. But the point is that I don't bully people. There's a difference between calling somebody out, critiquing them, and bullying them. And for those who don't understand that, I don't have time to explain the definition of bullying. Look it up in the dictionary. This is YouTube, okay? Just like a whole bunch of creators, when you put yourself out there like that, you are a public figure. Without a Crystal Ball is a public figure, a very problematic public figure. Therefore, she is going to get criticism. And that's just, it is what it is. I have just as much right to call her out on her behavior, her shitty behavior, just as much as anybody else. And that doesn't make someone a bully. A bully is somebody who is tearing somebody down for the way that they look, for the way that they act, different things like that. So I just wanted to make that clear. I have said from the very beginning, when Without a Crystal Ball started covering this case, when I seen the foul stuff that she started doing, I said, I'm going to start calling her out on this. In my opinion, she gets away with too much, and that's why she continues to do what she does. That's just my opinion. I don't think that she would continue to do the things that she does if people hold her accountable, but I think something bigger has to happen with her, which is why she has 2 active lawsuits. Okay. You can't go around hurting people and dragging people. If you really want to talk about bullying, that's what Without a Crystal Ball is. She's a bully. You don't dig up people's past and use it against them. That's just ridiculous. So, like I said that I would start calling her out, and I'll continue to call her out, not even just with this case in general. But I said that I was going to call her out on the way that she is handling and discussing this case. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. And through all of our predictions, she has turned this case into a circus. I remember somebody saying in the comments a week ago, oh my God, just wait until she gets the family's address. I will go through all my comments one day and pull up like at least 2 to 3 comments where people in my comment section predicted that she was going to do this exact thing, what she's doing now. Now, regardless of her thoughts on Vaughn and his family, regardless of her thoughts on Letitia, that doesn't give her the right to be doing what she's doing and exposing text messages and trying to pit the family against each other when in all actuality, Letitia, Vaughn's father and stepmom, they really, regardless of the problems that they may not have behind the scenes, publicly, they had a good, strong, united front. But now, because she's pulling out all these text messages of things that they may have confided in her when they thought that she was a decent human being, now she's putting that out there because she's trying to cause chaos. All of these things she's doing on purpose. And it is over something minuscule. All it is over something that we all know that KJ does not like, which is rejection. That's all this is. And it doesn't have to be this way, but this is the way that she has done it. And guess what? I'm going to call it out. So, hey, Zaylee, aka Mac, how are you? She is. She's very much showing her nasty side. And exactly, Zaylee. We There's nothing wrong with it. This is YouTube. That's what I do. Some people do things different, but this is what I do. And I want to bring up something to you guys. Not just the video I just showed you, but I want to bring up another video. And I'm not going to go too much in the beginning, but I do want to show this video because I feel that it shows importance of how KJ was acting in the beginning and now how she's acting now. Okay. So let me bring it up if I can. I don't know why sometimes my screenshots don't load. Like, I love my Apple computer, but like, it's complicated, you guys. It really is. Okay, hold on one second.
Bringing up a brand new topic for you. I hope that those of you that are new to this topic will dive in with me because this is a very important story. I have been doing my best on my side to get as much information as I can, to be as thorough as possible, as accurate as possible, and I want to make sure that I do this story justice because this is such a big case. And I don't want anyone to think that this is for any other purpose than to help Vaughn's family. So if any of you know anything about me, I have a little boy and his name is Vaughn. And I got a message last week from one of my subscribers. And she said to me, there's this influencer and her husband, there was this huge incident. She's being very evasive. She's going live all the time. Something has happened to Vaughn. And at first I didn't know what to do because I don't get involved in these kinds of influencer stories.
She doesn't get involved in these type of influencer stories. Okay.
But then another subscriber reached out to me and said, Katie, we need your help. And I said, okay, let me look at this again. And then I saw the hashtag Justice for Vaughn. And I thought to myself, how could one mother of a Vaughn not help out another mother of a Vaughn?
So I guess, which I don't think I knew that. I may have knew that, but her son's name is Vaughn. So that just shows you and gives you a little bit of information for those of you that may be confused or whatever. There's some people who are just coming into this. There's some people who actually don't even know what's going on. So sometimes you got to take those people into consideration too. Most people do, but some people don't. This is how Without a Crystal Ball was from the beginning of this case. It was, I wanted to help Letitia. I want to be there for her. How could a mother of a Vaughn not help another mother of a Vaughn? And then we come to now, where you guys seen the screenshot that I put up, and I'm going to start off by putting up the very first one that she said. So hold on. Okay, so you guys seen this obviously in my thumbnail, but I wanted to read this to you because I feel like it's important to read this. It says, somehow in all this drama about who shared what first and who is in contact with the family has vastly overshadowed the real concern. It used to be justice for Vaughn. I think everyone lost sight on what truly matters. And I agree with that. And this says, justice for Vaughn is not real. That is justice for Letitia. Vaughn attempted S, and she used his attempted S to make money. That was the screenshot that pissed me off. Once I had that screenshot, that showed me her intentions and where she's coming from with this whole entire situation. And that is, now that Letitia obviously does not want, Miss Letitia doesn't want anything to do with her. She wants to keep her distance, and her reasoning is valid. She's allowed to set boundaries for herself, right? So because she set that boundary for herself, here we are now without a crystal ball, and that is everything that she's doing now, which is posting screenshots of her messages with the Juanette and Vaughn's father, Marvin Sr. She is now saying that Letitia is carrying a concealed weapon. Like, she is doing the most, y'all. Like, she is going above and beyond to discredit this woman and discredit the whole entire family. And here's what my big issue is with this, among so many, is that, and I think this is really important, no matter what she feels about Letitia, and she may have questions about Letitia, she may have questions about Vaughn's family. Everybody's in their right to question whatever it is that they want to question. But why is it that you have to bring this woman down and make her look like she's just this horrible, horrible person? I don't understand that. Like, you can question someone without showing text messages and trying to pit families against each other, right? And this is her trying to cause chaos to take away from the real issue. And now, to her, the issue isn't justice for Vaughn anymore. Now she's saying that, basically trying to insinuate that Letitia is scamming people. I'm going to pull up something else for you guys. And hi to everyone who's here for the first time. Thanks for joining me. Okay, hold on. Let me bring this up. I'm still here. Hold on. It takes a lot to bring up this shit. Oh, the loads and loads of overwhelming information that is without a crystal ball. Okay. Okay, so this is a post. Whoops, let me back on out of that real quick. This is a post that she posted yesterday, okay? And this is where she's going. This is how she pretty much is posting all kinds of different things to insinuate that Letitia is just this horrible person. So it says this right here, Letitia, by seemingly wants to be the only person profiting off of Vaughn. Why? These are my thoughts and opinions. He was adopted by his grandma in 1995. Vaughn spoke openly that she stole money from him to start a cab company, which she never paid back. A reason why, who did she say? Okay, Vaughn spoke openly. Okay. To start a cab company, which she never paid back. A reason why Vaughn cut ties with her. She always wanted Vaughn to send her money. Rochelle says she has a 2022 truck, but Letitia was flexing this 2020 Honda Palisades. So when did she pick up the 2022 truck? Where are the receipts for your attorney? Dre never banned her from the hospital. I believe they saw Dre making money and Letitia wanted her piece of the pie too. Y'all saying I'm slandering. I'm speaking my opinions. Freedom of speech is a right. They spoke their opinions and I got refunded by GoFundMe. And these are pictures, and it says here, it's so sad how many people are profiting off of Vaughn's situation. All the money every person has made in Vaughn's name should go to his mother. I don't think it's okay to post personal cash app because you're providing hypothetical situations of what you think is going on. I also don't think it's right to get stars. All of us, every day, people are sharing and spreading awareness for free, and that's true. I've donated several times. The fact that people are sleeping at night knowing they even made $1 in Vaughn's name is sick. I've seen some weird, sketchy stuff. Mama L just needs to stick to her family because money changes people. And then she posted pictures of Letitia's truck. Okay. Okay, hold on. So, what exactly does her having a truck have to do with anything? To me personally, okay, she has a truck. How does that coincide with anything, in my opinion? Hold on, I have to get my son something to drink real quick, you guys. So, hold on one second. Okay. Let's read some comments. When it comes to mental health, I think KJ is kind of ignorant. When someone harms himself to the point of no return or it isn't successful, the whole family has trauma. I agree. She wants people to be totally broke and destitute to warrant donating. Yes. Just because mama has a truck doesn't mean she has money. I agree. And that to me has nothing to do with anything. And I think that's in KJ's own words. She has definitely been very, very vocal about how much help Letitia is going to need. So let's pull that up.
Working together, and I think the
Hold on, you guys. I don't know why this one isn't working. Hold on.
can keep working together, and I think the big thing with these kinds of stories is like putting differences aside, and the audience don't get mad at creators and say this person's doing it for clout and this person's doing it for clout. Like, if we're not doing it, who's talking about it then?
That's right.
And how do you help his family?
Well, the family are very appreciative. They're
Absolutely.
very appreciative.
Crying on my channel. She said, she contacted me this afternoon and she said, you have no idea how I'm so thankful that you're there for him. And, you know, and she said this was a blessing. When she got the money yesterday, she was crying.
You know, I was wondering about his dad and his stepmom. Right. They cashed through their whole savings. Letitia has they need a lawyer.
They do need a lawyer.
They need a lawyer.
That lawyer, it's going to get lit. It has just begun. It's going to get so much worse.
I know. The police need to reopen this investigation.
They're going to. I know it. I can see it.
Definitely.
You don't know me yet. Without a crystal ball, you don't know me yet.
Oh no, I have a. So not the one that says justice for Vaughn. This is the cash. This is the cash app.
It's the first one that pops up. Yes.
Okay.
All right, Katie. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, because I'm sorry, I'm the one that told them about you. Well, thank you guys for joining me. Thank you, audience, for being here. We're going to.
Yeah, whatever. As you can see, she's very, very vocal about how much help Letitia's going to need. Do you guys have any idea the magnitude of like money that you need for an attorney, especially with something like this? It's a lot of money, and it requires a lot of time. And I don't think that I don't understand. Obviously, I get why she's doing this. However, do you not see, or does, I know people see, but it's like, I don't understand how she doesn't understand how she looks right now. You look absolutely ridiculous. And all I'm going to do is use your own words against you. This is a family, regardless of what you think about them. And if you have questions about them, you guys are more than welcome to ask questions, because transparency is important, especially when it comes to money. That's important. However, that doesn't mean that you have to drag them through the mud, especially, you don't do that to anybody, but especially at such a vulnerable time. You have a platform of 240K people, and you are more irresponsible with that platform than anybody I've ever seen. Okay? Your intentions were quite simple, and you're making it very clear now. But like I said, I'm not going to use your words or try to misconstrue your words or anything like that. You are the one who has said more than a dozen times that they are going to need help. Now you're trying to go from that to she's a scam artist and she bought a truck. And where's the receipts for the truck? And where's the receipts for the attorney? Which is fine, but it doesn't mean, not about the truck in her personal life, but with the attorney, of course. Like I said, transparency is important when it comes to money. However, it doesn't give you the right to drag them like this. So let me show you guys something else. I have a lot of things to show you guys. Not too much, though. I'm not going to overwhelm you guys too much, so hold on.
You know, I'm going to continue to help the family in any way that I can by sharing the story. And I think for me is that I don't know what happened that day. I wasn't there. I can only show you, here's what's going on online. Here's what she is saying. You know, when I looked at it objectively, I put myself in her position. I've been in those shoes. I've had a child on life support, and I was not online acting like my life was great. My life was hell. We were in the hospital on and off for 4 months. There was nothing fun about that. And I was definitely not telling anyone I was living my best life. And that's really what struck me. And then she's lying about his.
She was so passionate about this case in the beginning, don't you think?
The way that they're doing the feeds. I have a child that has a feeding tube. She's lying about some of the things that the doctors are doing. I can tell just with my own knowledge from my own experience with my son that she's lying. Selling herbs. She has a lot to lose here. I don't want the fact that he is a African American man, I don't want them to ignore this because of that. I don't want it to be ignored and swept under the rug. He needs to be treated with respect. Vaughn served his country and protected us, and it's time that we serve and protect him.
Vegeta.
That gave me chills.
I do. Sorry, you guys can hear me in the background.
Thank you.
So, justice for Vaughn. Now that's no longer real. That's not real anymore. There's no more justice for him. So basically, without a crystal ball, you're saying that you don't want his story to be ignored. You don't want for his story to be just swept under the rug, especially with him being an African American man, a Marine. You'd want people to acknowledge that. You want people to know who he is. You want justice for him. That was only 2 weeks ago. Now, justice for Vaughn no longer exists. It's something that Letitia made up, a case that you were so passionate about. You're no longer passionate about it anymore because it doesn't exist. Somebody's using justice for Vaughn to make money. That's what you're saying. The only one who's capitalizing off of this the most is you. You should be ashamed of yourself, excuse me, for how passionate you were in the beginning. How could a mother of one Vaughn not help a mother to another Vaughn? And you went from that to there is no such thing as justice for Vaughn, all because a family chose to not associate themselves with you anymore, and that's their choice. You could have still continued to talk about this case. You could have still continued to be passionate about this case. You don't have to work with the family to be passionate about a case and bring awareness, especially with a huge platform like yours. I don't work close to the family. I don't talk to the family. But I'm still bringing awareness about the case. I'm still talking about Dre's erratic behavior. You could have still continued on talking about this case without speaking to the family. There's a lot of creators out there covering this case. They don't talk to the family, but they're still passionate about it. They still believe in justice for Vaughn. You can separate the two. You say that you're so highly intelligent and you spit out all these big words, but do you know the meaning of them? Like compassion, empathy, because you can separate the two. You can question something about somebody and, transparency or whatever it is, you can question that. And still there is justice for Vaughn. There could still be a justice for Vaughn. Right? Hold on, I'm going to bring up something else.
The VA says they can't prevent her from allowing visitors. His mom to this day has not seen him. His dad did see him, so his mom told me yesterday that his dad was her way to prevent his mom from seeing her. And the mom, she's moved him like 3 times or 4 times. She's been kicked out of at least one of the hospitals for non-compliance. The VA basically told her there was nothing more they could do for him. And they were trying to encourage her to let him go. And she won't take him off life support. He's not off the vent. Okay. You can also see the vent working in the videos. You can. Okay. So at a point during this, she is in the hospital room, and I'm going to show you this video.
I have too many clips, you guys. I donated to his mom directly when MGL first posted it before KJ latched on. I did 3 donations, so there would be no hold from my bank here in Canada. That's amazing that you donated, Jill B. Thank you so much, Alyssa, for the super sticker. Thanks, beautiful. I don't like her from the beginning. I don't think a lot of people did. I don't think a majority of people didn't. And I think the most thing that bothers me is that she's trying to pretend like she's not capitalizing on, like she's not making any money and it's not benefiting her and all that kind of stuff. And I seen where somebody showed that it is, that she is making money off of this case. You know what I mean? Hold on one second. There's something interesting that I want to show you guys, and I got to give a shout out to my mod for sending this to me. Hold on, let me pull it up. Let's share my screen, shall we? Okay. So right here, somebody's name, whatever, and it says, I think it says, now mom needs more money to get back home to Georgia. Why not fly round trip? And then she puts, because she's packing a weapon across state lines. Are you freaking serious? How do you know she's packing a weapon behind? How do you know that? Why? Because she told you that she does have a weapon that she has a license for? You see how dirty this is? Do you see how disgusting she's turning this into? So now you're saying that she's packing a weapon across state lines. Do you have proof of that? This is defamation, okay? This is serious. This isn't a fucking game. You can't say that shit without proof. Where's the proof? Because she told you she has a weapon to protect herself that she has a license for, and now you're trying to say that she is bringing it across state lines? Because I'll tell you right now, that is defamation. That's defamation, in my opinion. Allegedly, in my opinion. Okay? Let me show you guys something else. I just have so many things to show you guys. I know, it's overwhelming. I know. Like, is she trying to get Letitia arrested? Like, what the fuck is she trying to do? Like, this is grimy. You should be ashamed of yourself. Like, I would be ashamed of myself if I did something like that. I'm going to show you guys one more thing. Thank you for sending this to me.
I never would have believed that this little blue mouthpiece is all I needed to get a whiter smile.
Xoxo.
Katie Joy Paulson, I think you are in for a big fucking surprise, and not the kind that you are going to enjoy, because, well, most people learn and don't repeat. But here you are again, doing the same thing within 5 years, and I have found some things out about your state, some laws, and that's what's happening. So, listening ears on, Katie. You want to hear this. Bullying laws in Minnesota. Stalking. I feel like that is more your category, although bullying is in stalking, but this is you, Katie. Stalking occurs when a defendant engages in any conduct that the defendant knows or should know will cause the victim to feel frightened, threatened, oppressed, or intimidated. Increased.
Make sure you drop this link down in the chat. I think this is actually really important for a lot of people to hear. And let me tell you something. I hope you're listening without a crystal ball, because a lot of the things that you are doing should be against the law. I don't know what you're trying to do when you're talking about this shit, but you better be careful. I'm just saying, but it doesn't matter with you because you don't.
Fines and prison time apply when the conduct includes a pattern of stalking. And Katie, do you remember my video on your behavioral pattern? Yes, the carousel from hell. It goes round and round and round. You never learn, and here we are. What would this maybe be your 6th or 5th defamation lawsuit, possibly? Well, I'm going to leave all the links in the description box below, and if the victim's family need to take action, please, someone pass this video on. Or don't even pass the video on. Just share the links in the description below, because this is not reporting. We have been saying that for so long, but let me continue. Increased fines and prison time apply when the conduct includes a pattern of stalking, which means 2 or more incidents in a 5-year period. Oh, do I need to count on my fingers? I don't think so. I think I might be smart enough to know that we are talking about you, Katie Jo Paulson. This whole paragraph, and look at that fucking paragraph. Beautiful, isn't it? Full stops, paragraphs, brackets, commas, everything where it should be. That is grammar for you. That is grammar. No confusion what it says. I'm even in the right jurisdiction. I was going to say state, but I thought I'd speak your language. Harassment refers to a single incident of physical or repeated incidents of intrusive or unwanted acts of words that actually have or are intended to have a substantial adverse effect on the safety or privacy of the victim. Do you hear that, Katie? Are you putting 1 and 3 together? I'll tell you, it doesn't equal 2. Katie, do you say it? Data, ka-ching! Long-term effects of cyberbullying.
I love this lady. She's awesome. I love her. Sorry, you guys. Okay, so I'm about to bring up something else. My kids are up. It's summer. They're about to go to sleep though. She is so lame for that. Way to kick someone when they are already at their lowest. I agree. I also want to show you guys something, and this is actually very, very important. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen this, and I think it's important for you guys to know. First, I'm going to bring up the video where this Cash App is being promoted, and then I'm going to show you something else, and then I'm going to show you the response. Now, I don't know if this is true. Obviously, everything is always allegedly, because you have to be careful. I'm not like without a crystal ball. I don't make accusations without having solid proof, right? So, hey, Tina, Arani, how are you, sweetie? So, hold on.
$ Bella and Oasis. And again, the money will be going towards, yes, I did. I had the permission to share this. There's always someone that says this, but I did. I had the permission to share this. They told me I should put that out because they really wanted it known that they want the hate to stop. They want the drama to stop. They want the fighting to stop. None of this helps the case. None of it helps the community. None of it helps the kids. And as long as their name wasn't on it, you didn't see their name, you didn't see their email address. Yeah. This is for the custody of the 2 girls. Well, they're working on, she hasn't been served yet. And there was no name attached to it, correct?
You want that Chipotle?
Yeah. You can hear us in the background when I screen record. Sorry, you guys.
Okay. You said earlier about him not wanting to speak out. You said because of his high-ranking job, his fellow corrections also would be able to help him. I've seen how they all say they're brothers. Okay. So there's unions that can help him, but they can't help with everything. And his legal expenses at this point, he's in California, have already exceeded $8,000. And the expected fees for this will be over $18,000. And while he has a good job and makes a steady income, nobody can prepare to have to deal with something like this in such an emergent manner to get his kids out of there, especially giving this, given the situation. And
so basically, there is a lot of things going out about this Cash App that she promoted. And I think it's very important to bring awareness about this because nobody is sure if it's even true or not. Let's put it that way. If this is a genuine Cash App or not.
for donations, and I'm first off, I just want to say this, like, there has been a lot of GoFundMe's and Cash Apps and all of that saved and all of that shared in the story. And I don't want to say to you that you have to do anything. You don't have to donate anything to anyone. You don't have to feel like you're responsible for anyone. You don't have to do anything.
No shit, Sherlock. We know that we don't have to donate to this Cash App, but the point is this real or not?
And if you don't want to donate, you just don't have to, and you just can say no. If you want to donate, you can. And my subscriber Cash App is Bella, and I'll show it to you. We have been working so it says, "Dear Katie, the Ratliff, I helped them," and about the Cash App. So it says, "Dear Katie, the Ratliff family and I are grateful that you have dedicated countless hours of your time to helping us get this petition filed. I thank you for maintaining my anonymity, and we have been working so hard on putting together a thorough case and really don't need all the added hate coming from people. This family needs to focus on the children. It's been a horrible situation for all that are involved. A Cash App has been created for the legal expenses of the custody of the children. The money will be used specifically for the attorney's fees and travel expenses. Every phone call, email, motion, filing fee is very expensive, and the hefty retainer has already been utilized. There is still process serving, trial prep, and court appearances. It could take numerous trips, motions filed, and court appearances. If anyone wishes to donate, they do not have to, but put any amount will help. Any money that is received that exceeds the cost of the legal battle will go directly to the girls. Again, thank you for your help. You are a blessing." So that came from their friend. So like I seriously, until this story, had a rule that we.
Do you guys see how tongue-tied she is in this video, though? Allegedly, in my opinion. Hey, the Magician's Manor, how are you, sweetie? She's very tongue-tied, and when people are questioning her about this, I want to show you something that stands out to me before she goes to read this letter. Now watch.
So earlier today, the family friend sent me an email because they wanted really just to make it known that one, I helped them, and two, about the Cash App.
You see
that one
talking
because they wanted show it to you. So earlier today, this story. So I don't care how you feel. Like, if you don't want to donate, that's fine. Just save your negativity for other people, or just keep it to yourself. But the Cash App is Bella, and I'll show it to you. So earlier today, the family friend sent me an email.
Something's not right about that video. It just seems like she's very tongue-tied, and yeah. Do you have the video where she's that rage? The father won't answer her. I feel the father knew she was trouble. No, I don't have that video, but if you have it, you can send it to me. Erica, how are you, sweetie? But yeah, that video was weird. But following that, everybody was questioning this because I think it has to do with the fact that to me personally, you're not talking to the father, okay? You're talking to the friend of a father, right? So if you're talking to the friend of a father, how do you know that is the real friend? Like she says, it's confirmed, like for sure, that definitely is a friend of the father. But to me, it's like, how do you really know? And then you're promoting this Cash App. Like, I wouldn't have ever promoted a Cash App from a friend of somebody else. Like it's you're giving it to a friend and he's giving it to the father. To me, that is so irresponsible. You know what I mean? Thank you, Goose. I love you, girl. That's just very, very irresponsible. Like that's, if I'm working with somebody direct, first of all, I'm not going to ask for people to donate to a Cash App if I'm not talking to that person directly. And she's sitting here saying it's the friend. So she's going through the friend and it's definitely verified, she said. But how do we know that it's verified? We don't. That's just shows you the irresponsible of without a crystal ball. You know, how do we know that it's actually the friend? How is that verified? You know, he could be, it just, okay. So it was questionable to everybody, including myself. Like, how do we know who this friend is? We don't know who this friend is. So there's I think it's a group, excuse me, and I don't know if the group is public or private, but it is a group that's like bringing awareness on her. And I'm going to pull this up now. Like I said, this is all alleged. This is not like, all of these things are alleged. I can't sit here and say that it's 100% certain, but we all know how Without a Crystal Ball is. So hold on. I'm going to pull this up. Share my screen here. This is courtesy of Llama Girl. Okay, so it says it was sent. This was sent. It is from a private group. This is redacted, which I have the same one. It says it has been verified by family. The Cash App Without a Crystal Ball has posted for children was not set up by father. Katie is collecting undervalued pretenses. Do not donate. The father of the children has not asked for any money on any platforms. Do not donate to this Cash App that Katie Joy has posted. If you donated to Cash App for the children's father, come to me for the evidence to get your money back. The father of the girls is a private person. He doesn't want anything on any platform regarding anything. Verify that Katie Joy is theft by deception, collecting under false pretenses, and we have no idea who has that Cash App, probably Katie herself. And this is, excuse me, this is all allegedly, okay? So I just wanted to show you guys that really quick. And it was redacted from a private group. And it's alleged that that is not the father. Now, what I do know about the girl's father, which is Dre's ex-husband, is that he's a very successful man. I know he was, I don't think he's in the Marines anymore, but he has, he's a very successful man, and he doesn't want anything to do with social media at all. So I don't know if this is true or not, but according to Without a Crystal Ball, she is in communication with his friend. This is not him directly. And that's what I'm saying. If you're not talking to him directly, why would you even promote this Cash App? That's just my opinion. I wouldn't promote a Cash App if I wasn't talking. I wouldn't promote a Cash App on behalf of anyone unless I was talking to that person directly. And I knew that it was verified that it was that person. I wouldn't be in communication back and forth with someone who's a friend. So that was posted, and it kind of confirmed things that a lot of people were already thinking, which is like, why is this going through a friend? Why aren't you talking to the father directly before you're promoting this Cash App? Well, Without a Crystal Ball did post a response to this, and I'm going to show you guys this response. Okay, so. Bring this up here. I gotta get faster at this, you guys. Okay, so here is her response. It wouldn't be fair. I'm not like without a crystal ball. I'm not going to make any type of accusations, especially if she responded and not acknowledge that she did respond to it. So it says the post that was posted, of course, she posted the group. Okay, the post is not true. I did not set up the Cash App. I'm not benefiting from the Cash App. As I told you several days ago, the Cash App was already started by Oba's friend on his behalf. I spoke about this the day it was created by the friend of the family I personally donated to the father. No one else needs to. This is the same friend that helped with the court filings, and I have verified those filings were made. I provided you all the order from the court, and the hearing is set for August 3rd. The Cash App is not connected to me. I have received no money. I have received no money. Posts like this are what actual slander is and defamation is, because this is false. Since these same people are accusing me of slander now, sharing the email from the family friend, they want to be anonymous. You can see this was sent to me on Thursday. I also have the person's phone number, social media, and have verified repeatedly they are friends with and helping the father. Okay. That is her response. So I just wanted to show you guys her response and what she's trying to say. To me, if something's not right, I just don't understand why it's through the friend. I don't understand that unless it's really through him. And if it was through him, why not say it's through him? But he doesn't want anything to do with social media, but he is on social media, even if it is the friend. It just doesn't make any sense to me. You guys can tell me what you think. I will open the panel for a minute. Okay, she's not being honest about the Cash App or the email or the friend of the father. She might not be. All I'm saying is it doesn't make any sense. If you're talking to the father's friends, you can't sit there and get mad that people are questioning it, but yet you want to walk around slandering and saying horrible things about the family of Vaughn. Like, if you want to walk around making these slanderous things and saying these slanderous things about the family, but yet here you are promoting a Cash App on behalf of someone's friend, allegedly, like, it just doesn't make any sense. And you know what? You want to sit here and talk about slander without a crystal ball? Well, now you know how it feels to be slandered, because you have done nothing but slander since day one of talking about this case. You can't sit here and cry victim now after everything that you've done, after everything that you said. And there's one more thing that I want to read to you guys. Why is a father saying that he has not asked anyone for any money? He has not spoken to any socials. Ask KJ who her spice was from Todd Chrisley's production crew that she went on video saying crap. Like, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, it doesn't add up. So hold on. I'm going to bring one more thing up, and then we don't have to bring up all the information, but I do want to bring up one more thing. Some of you guys may have already read this. Some of you guys haven't, but I'm going to read it really quickly. And then I will open up the panel. Okay. Without a Crystal Ball says, today I want to share my thoughts on this ever-evolving situation. First, I am not here to create drama or even start anything. This is my opinion about what has transpired and why this entire situation has devolved into chaos. It's because of you, Without a Crystal Ball. That's why it's been like this, because of you. When I was asked to look into the situation, I was forwarded a video of Dre not allowing Von's dad to see him at the hospital. The video was trimmed, and I did not see that his dad was eventually allowed to visit Von. That's how it started. Then I saw videos of her in the hospital acting bizarre, wiping spit on him, and I felt outraged. The Justice for Von group formed weeks before I ever entered the situation. The group was solely on Von's mom's side. There appeared to be no questions allowed about the biological mom's intentions. Any evidence Dre presented on Letitia, people were told was false. Of course, no family should have to learn about a life-threatening illness of a loved one online. That is devastating. I don't think the situation was handled well by anyone involved. Dre sharing very intimate details about Von and taking videos in the hospital room were also upsetting. From the beginning, I was led to believe by Von's biological parents that they believed Von's injury was due to foul play. I was given all kinds of anecdotes by family about the relationship with Von. They also blamed Dre for their estrangement. With this information, I started to see if there was foul play. A police report was released, but the report was missing information. This made me believe the biological parents. As I started to look more, there was nothing I could find that supported foul play. I'm not the police, but their full report with accounts from 3 police officers in Yuma Fire Department all supported the S attempt. The report seemed to show that the ultimate conclusion will be an attempted S. The report says no further action at the end. Once I read the full report, I realized that I had been misled about the situation. That does not mean I'm Team Dre. There is enough in her videos for me to see a lot of concerning behaviors, especially related to the kids. Then I realized the fundraising was never ending. I rarely got involved in fundraising on this platform, and moving forward, I will not be promoting fundraisers for individuals. When I started to express my reservations, I was accused of starting drama. Justice for Von admins reached out to me to ask me to remove posts from my own page. Subscribers of mine were told they were kicked out of groups for asking questions about the endless fundraising and where the money was going. What appeared to be happening to me was that everyone was supposed to believe Von's biological parents and not Andrea. One of the initial criticism of Andrea was her profiting off of Von's condition, but soon Von's biological family was also criticized for doing the same. Endless hours of live streams for fundraising seemed to refresh to rehash the same information with no updates on Vaughn or the kids. I was led to believe justice for Vaughn was justice for the what happened to him. I was led to believe that he did not attempt S, but I believe the police report shows he did attempt S. So unfortunately, there isn't criminal justice in these situations, in my opinion. If Dre was harming Vaughn in the hospital, the staff would have reported that to the social workers, APS, or police, none of which has ever been disclosed. I don't believe that Vaughn is in danger while under the care of doctors. If they have concerns about Dre, they can supervise her in the room or not allow her to visit. Ultimately, Vaughn's biological mom saw Vaughn. To date, there are no court filings for anything related to Vaughn's medical care. As we looked into Vaughn and Dre's past, videos were dissected, court records requested, and police reports discussed. If anyone looked into Vaughn's family's past, they were told it was irrelevant. Whether people like it or not, Dre is Vaughn's wife. She is the next of kin, and she has full discretion to decide who she gives updates about his health. Vaughn's biological parents do not have legal rights to that information. The only way this could be achieved is through court. With endless fundraising and no goal known, people became concerned. This was not the situation they believed it to be. I just cannot believe this shit. Okay, where did I leave off? Okay, with endless fundraisings and no goals known, people became concerned this was not the situation they believed it to be. My own experience with Vaughn's biological family was filled with more questions than answers. Some statements made by parties to me were proven to be false upon my own research of court records. So here are my thoughts. I don't believe Dre attempted to M Vaughn. I believe Vaughn attempted S. I believe there are documented use of herbs, K, and prescription led to both of them declining physically, mentally, and emotionally. Based on 25 calls to the police to the home since 2015, I believe they had a volatile marriage, which included substance abuse, DV, and control issues by Dre. Vaughn actively promoted and agreed to the diet they ate. He said publicly he didn't want to be on meds for seizures and hated going to the doctor. Did Dre take things too far by treating him with no medical experience? Yes. For some reason, Dre decided she could heal him, even though those attempts seemed to make things worse. Based upon Vaughn's own public statements and messages to friends, I believe his estrangement from his mother is not because of Dre. I believe Vaughn has his own trauma from childhood and distanced himself. Did she cause his illnesses? I don't know. K and B with withdrawals can cause seizures. Vaughn's seizures seem to start around the time their use of K and other meds increased without his medical records. We will never know the whole picture. Right now, I am not promoting any Cash Apps or GoFundMes. If you donated and believe you are misled, please do what you need. Okay. Where am I at? Right now, I am not promoting any Cash App or GoFundMes. If you donated and believe you were misled, please do not do whatever you need to get a refund. When you donate to fundraiser, it is always okay to ask questions where the money is going. I have deleted and blocked a lot of people on this page. People will say I'm being a hypocrite like everyone else. That's because you are. The bulk of those blocked are blocked due to disrespectful comments, spam, harassing others in comments. If people were blocked that believed they were not blocked for those reasons, you can email tips@withoutacrystalball.com or contact me Instagram. I will unblock you. I am not on any team right now. I'm not Team Dre. I'm not Team Von's biological family. I am still concerned about the kids and Dre's mental health. DCS and the courts will hopefully figure this out for their well-being. Von is a Marine and served in the military from 2011 to 2018. According to the CDC, 17 veterans die by S every day. Here's what the CDC is going to help and programs they discuss that help veterans. If you or someone you know is feeling S, please call the National Crisis, and which is 988. If anybody needs to know that. And this whole entire thing was bullshit. Okay, that was bullshit. The biggest hypocrite I've ever seen. So now pretty much what you're trying to do is what she's trying to do, okay, which I'm pretty sure everybody can see it at this point, is deconstruct, okay, because now people are onto her. People are starting to figure out, questioning the Cash App. There's a whole bunch of questions now. So what she's trying to do is pull back. Obviously pull back. She doesn't have a choice but to pull back because people see her now. I guarantee you, without a crystal ball, I guarantee you she's probably lost so many subscribers due to this. So many. All because she handled this case wrong. She literally lied, fabricated, and then slandered. And I truly believe that she's going to continue to slander. She's going to continue to talk about this case. What she did in that, literally, which I don't know why you would do that on Facebook, literally write a 5-page essay on what you think and what you think happening, as if your words are the end all be all and people are going to actually sit there and listen to you. She's at 245. I don't know how much she had, or I'm not sure, Anne, but what I will say is I've seen a lot of people see her true colors because of this case and her covering it. All because she couldn't take rejection. It's that simple. Because she wasn't working right next to the parents. They didn't want to talk to her. Nobody wanted anything to do with her. So therefore, they didn't want nothing to do with her shadiness, her passive aggressive comments, the things that she says, her controlling issues, manipulative, overly aggressive. They didn't want to deal with that. So they backed away from her. And just simply because of that, she wanted to stop talking about this case. That is the epitome of a spoiled little brat. Point blank, period. That's something like, I can talk about this case. There are so many people talking about this case, like I mentioned before. They don't have to work with the parents. I don't talk to the parents. I don't talk to Miss Letitia. I don't talk to any of them. I've talked to Miss Letitia one time. That's it. I don't talk to them or anything like that. But I can still talk about the case. It is possible to talk about a case without being in close contact or direct contact with the family of the case. That's possible, you know. And because things didn't go her way, now it's everything that I once said is not true anymore. Okay? You were told this, but now you change your mind. You were told this, but now you change your mind. You're not Team Dre, you're not Team Von. Now you're just Team Nobody. Now you do believe that he committed S. You don't believe that the things that Dre said, everything that you have said thus far, do you have any idea how insane you look at this point? You are entitled to your own opinion. We all are. Okay? But how do you go from, I really do think that there's something suspicious going on, all of the things that she's doing, you know, with the children, with Von wiping spit on him. How do you go from that to drastically, I don't believe this happened. I don't believe that happened. I have never seen anything like this before in my life. And you call yourself a reporter? A reporter would never do that. First of all, a reporter is going to get the whole story before they speak on it, before they give their opinion on it. They're going to get both sides of the story before they speak on it. Like, I have never in my life seen anything like this before. And this is all because things didn't go her way, basically. Let me send something really quick. I don't know how this works. I don't think I know how to do this. Let me see. If anybody wants to come on panel, you have to let me know and I will send it to you. Okay. But I have never seen anything like this before in my life. Like literally, because everything didn't go your way. Now it's you don't believe anything that you once stood for. You don't believe that Vaughn did anything. You're not suspicious about anything. You're not suspicious about Dre because now there's an excuse for everything. I just, Lord, this is about human decency. Just being a decent person. I just said for the same reasons. Molly go lightly look into this case and see it seems to be objective. Thank you, Crystal. I'm embarrassed to say I drank her Kool-Aid. Thank God it took me 15 days to figure it out. I'm sorry that you were disappointed, but I promise you we won't disappoint you over here. Okay. We stand for our convictions over here. Hey, Goose.
Hey. Hey, everybody in chat. I just want to say thank you to everybody in chat who's been so respectful.
Thank you,
And
guys.
even like a couple people who posted some things, they were not super bad, but obviously we do things a little different here. We try not to put out any information that could be semi-doxing, even if it's not technically doxing, we try to just like stay away from that, put ourselves in those people's shoes to protect certain people. And we try to stay away from the physical bashing of looks and everything like that, because, we feel like, if somebody says something about your looks, it's obviously like, it hurts your feelings or whatever. But when they actually talk about your bad behavior having to do with like who you are on the inside, like that's so much worse,
Right.
People can say, you're, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like looks
Right.
are, only skin deep, but it depends on who somebody is on the inside. It makes them, it can really kind of sting a bit more and stuff like that. So I just wanted to say thank you to everybody in chat for just being super cool. And when we told them just a couple of things, just to, nobody was nasty back and they just said, thank you, sorry. And so we just really appreciate that a lot.
You guys are awesome. And seriously, there's so much to say about KJ. You don't have to talk about her looks. Like there's just so much, you know what I mean? Like you don't have to say anything about her looks. You just talk about her character and who she is as a person, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys make sure you go subscribe to Magician's Manor. He is awesome. But so what do you think about everything? Am I echoing?
I think maybe we both are just a little bit. I'll mute when you're talking because I have you on speakerphone. So that's probably why. But well, I actually, because there's just so much stuff with KJ, usually like I never take notes when I'm doing a live with you. Like I don't ever write stuff down, but there's so much stuff that I just grabbed my little piece of paper like the last night and I just wrote stuff down. Like basically her talking about what's her intentions, like you said. And I'm like, let's think about your usual coverage. Like she always does the Duggars, the housewives, the teen mom, 7M, who ironically sued her and she's going to trial in 2023 for those that are new and don't know about that. That's the one case that she won't bring up when she talks about Todd Chrisley and Toddy Westbrook and all that stuff. But, all she does is talk about these people. She talks about the Duggars, ooh, they're wearing pants. Like what? Does that hurt you, KJ, that some people decide to grow their hair out and not wear pants? I'm sorry. It doesn't hurt me. Maybe it'll affect them later in life, but that's, right. It's like and then the other thing is, she's always trying to insert herself if like I feel like her biggest goal is to be the center of attention when she covers a case. And then when things don't play out the way she wants them to, then she plays the victim and she starts bashing other people. I mean, how elementary can we get? It's like the bully at school, you know, like they bully. And then when they get picked on, it's like, oh my God, but wait, I'm the victim. No, like the thing is that you're finally getting called out on your bullshit and you don't like that. And she doesn't like the fact that, you know, some people turned on her. But again, like, this is not about Vaughn's parents, you know, like she always says like she's a journalist or she's a reporter. Well, first off, like you said, a reporter will get all the facts before they're reporting, or if they don't have all the facts because they're slowly coming out, they'll be careful when they report on them and put them out. And journalists and reporters don't usually bash other, you know, people that are covering the story. I don't know, but when I watch the news, I could be wrong, but I don't usually see journalists and stuff like that usually going after other people that are covering the story. I haven't seen other reporters or journalists doxing other people that cover the story.
Or you know? People that are in the story, like not doxing people for like malicious reasons. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like she's literally, what she did on that Facebook post was literally broke down every aspect of this case and basically is trying to debunk everything that she once stood for. Do you have any idea how ridiculous that makes you look? At least stand for something. You know what I'm saying? Stand next to what you initially started talking about this case. You don't at least give somebody or your subscribers a little bit of hope that you have a little bit of integrity in you.
Right. Or like when she decided to dox people's like histories, what, you know, like I think it was wrong to do it with the family because again, I'm sorry, but I told you this, Teaya, I think it was last night or the night before, like, you know, Dre has shared enough of her information online with her lives and spoken up for a lot of different things that I truly feel that if she was physically scared of Vaughn's father, that she would have said it right there, like, hey, you guys, you know, blah blah blah, whatever. She would not have not said that. She has said enough stuff about his family. Not only that, but let's remember that just 10 days prior or so, it was like 2 weeks, 10 days, it was close to when the incident happened. But and I will never ever say that like KJ did, that she feels like he did unalive himself and that, you know, about the vets and all that sort of stuff. You know what, KJ? It'd be like me saying, you know what? There's a lot of mothers out there who consider unaliving themselves because of the trauma that they go through with raising children that are medically fragile. That's freaking hurtful. You don't say that, especially about a Marine, because that's a backhanded fucking compliment by telling how strong a Marine is and then saying this. And I'm sorry to cuss, but this makes me so freaking mad because.
And don't forget about the statistics either.
Right.
Statistics with Black males.
Yeah, they don't do it that way.
Exactly.
It's like,
don't forget about that, which she, you know, conveniently left that out, or was she so stupid that she don't know? Sorry, I don't mean to say that, but I'm mad too. And another thing too about her talking about Dre and saying that she does believe, you know, that things were withheld and people are keeping stuff. Dre started this. Dre is the one who didn't call the family and told them about what's going on. Okay. They had to find out from social media. Dre is the one who went public and started bashing Letitia. Shall I bring up the video that she did? The 2-hour video that she did where she was bashing her, talking about her as a mother, how she owed money. It was basically all about money. She started it. Letitia has a right to defend herself.
Hey, did you I sent you a little portion because today there was a like a 911 call report that came out from from June 22nd. Did you see that? About how
hold on, let me pull it up.
I think that would be a good thing to show because
just talking
So in this recording that Tia is going to show, it's literally a report. Like I'm not sure if it's an actual 911 call or if it's non-emergency record call. I can't remember if they specify that part, but it's from July 22nd. And Dre actually has the freaking audacity to call in and report that she's trying to fundraise money to for being able to stay in the area or in Tucson or whatever. It talks about it. But then she has the gall to literally say, is there any way that this that the incident report can be sealed so that Vaughn's parents can't get a hold of it? And you'll see it. It's literally right there in black and white, and it was gone over today, and just it made me so mad. Like, why would you not want that out there for the parents to see? You know, I'm sorry, but I'm just going to say it. It makes me feel like, what are you trying to hide?
Exactly. And when did you send this to me? What, earlier?
Yeah, let me check. Hold on one second. I might have to come back, but just hold on because it might kick me off. Just a sec.
Okay. Yeah. If you guys, you know, I'm not going to let Without a Crystal Ball rewrite history. Dre is the one. What happened was, and we all know what happened. We all watched this play out. Dre didn't tell the parents. They didn't know what the hell was going on. She went on social media. She found out that Vaughn was in a coma. She got a hold of Dre. Okay. And then, you know, they couldn't, at first, when they couldn't get a hold of her, they're like, you're hiding something, blah, 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 blah. Then groups were started because people started paying attention to her erratic behavior. And then Letitia, you know, obviously expressed her concern, like, why didn't you at least let me know that my child was in a coma? Like, I have a right to know that. No matter how estranged she was, she had a right to know that. Then Dre does a video bashing Letitia. That's how this started. That's how this whole entire thing started. It mostly started because of justice for Vaughn. It started because her erratic behavior doesn't make any sense. You can't deny that there's something suspicious going on here, you know? And to me, it shows very much how KJ is, her character, because if you really think about it, and I will show some clips before this ends of how passionate she was about this case, how passionate she was about everything, about Dre and the things that she was doing and the herbs and all the posts that she's made, all the videos that she's made. She went from that to saying, I don't think she has anything to do with anything. I am not going to sit here and say, here's the truth. And I'm going to tell you guys the truth. She's not benefiting from Vaughn's parents, his family, Letitia, Juanette, Marvin Sr. She's not benefiting off them. So what she's doing is taking little baby steps to appease Dre. I'm telling you guys, she is not going to let this case go. All she's going to do is try to get on Dre's good side. I guarantee you, I wouldn't even doubt, allegedly, in my opinion, that she sent Dre a fucking message saying, I'm sorry, I should never have believed them, blah, blah, blah. How much you want to bet?
Oh, I'm right there with you.
Words, because she wants to be close to somebody. She wants to align with somebody to get the inside scoop on this case. So since she can't get it from Vaughn's family, now she's going to move to Dre. How much do you want to bet?
Well, think about it. With every single case that she's covered, which, let's be real, she hardly ever covers like true crime. I mean, she talked about the Gypsy Rose thing, I believe, maybe. And then she talked about the Gabby Petito thing. Ironically, she put some stuff out on our Facebook post today about what you covered with the Munchausen by proxy and the little boy with the salt. I thought that was funny. Not funny, like as in that thing is funny, but just the information. It's like you're what is it, a day late and $1 short? But so I just sent you the thing. It should be probably downloaded. It's just a short clip about the police report, and it is sped up, so I apologize that it's sped up, but I was trying to get it all within like 1 minute, but you can still hear because Justin and Marissa, they both talk slow. So when it's sped up, it's not like
before I pull this up, she wants Dre's followers. I am telling you, this is what she's doing. Now that she can't be close with Vaughn's family, she's moving on to Dre. She's going to try to appease Dre. She's so convinced that I wouldn't doubt that it worked. I'm just saying, people like her are manipulative. I wouldn't even doubt it. Now I'm going to pull this up. Hold on.
That's what I was going to say, where you're pulling that up about the, like with the Gabby Petito, because a lot of people are like, oh, but look, I'm not reading the comments, so I'm not saying anybody said it here, but some people have said, but look at the Gabby Petito, like she didn't involve herself in that. Yeah, she did. She told people that she was like swatted, or the police were called and told that she had Brian Laundrie hiding in her basement. So with every single case that she covers, she is literally either she tries to use, like, say, she's a victim of SA, she's a victim of DV, she has a child with that's medically fragile, like, and I'm not saying that some of these things aren't true, but it's just like, there's a way to talk about cases and maybe share your own, like, your own experience with it. But it's just rather strange when the experience isn't talked about until she's bashed, or in her words, she's bashed, and then it's the victimhood mentality to the extreme.
Right. You don't have to be in direct contact with the family. You can actually talk about this case, stand for what you believe in, and continue on. But she's so thirsty. You know what I'm saying? She's not stupid. She knows that she's losing people. She's so thirsty that it's like, okay, well, it's not working with Vaughn's family, so I'm just going to move over to Dre. I'm telling you, that's all this is. She's not going to stop talking about this case. I believe that she has come to a point where I think she's obsessed with it, to be honest with you. But that's just my opinion. That's why she's always on Facebook, you guys, because that's where Dre's audience is. Dre's supporters are on Facebook. So that's why she's constantly posting on Facebook, going live, and all of that stuff. So let's play this. Wait, let me mute.
Last month?
Correct. Reporting party stated, meaning Dre. Okay. 6/22/22, 9:08.
Last month?
Correct. Reporting party stated, meaning Dre. Her husband is doing better, but still in a coma. She has a large social media platform where she discussed the incident and is attempting to gain monies for her to stay in Tucson. Meaning Dre. Her in-laws are supposedly crying foul play and supposedly want to take her son away. Now, this is what Dre is saying. She asked if the report can be sealed from them. You hear that?
No.
She did not want this report to be seen by Letitia or anyone else that was related to Vaughn. That is number one. She called 911 and asked if they could seal it from them. I told her no. All Yuma Police Department reports are able to be accessed by any citizen. She asked if the report can be faxed to her. She was directed towards Yuma Police Department records. It was suggested she obtain a lawyer.
Oh!
Reporting party has questions regarding the case. So Marissa. Okay. 6/22.
So pretty crazy, huh? I mean, if I was a reporter and I heard about that today, I would be going, wait, what?
Wait a minute, what? But she's so jealous that she doesn't want to even acknowledge any information that Justice for All and Molly put out there. She's so jealous that she just wants to ignore that information and pretend like it doesn't exist.
I just wanted to...
She let her jealousy get in the way with this case, and it's sad. It's very sad.
Absolutely. I just wanted to say to Iowa Girl 1966, welcome to Teaya's channel, and I hope that you sleep well, and we will be praying for you for the chemo and cancer and stuff like that. So just know that we will lift you up in prayers or send you positive vibes, whatever people do in the chat.
Absolutely. I know how that is. Oh, thank you, Iowa Girl. Thank you for the super chat, sweetie. Great, good, I'll be back. God bless you all. God bless you. And I know about chemo. My mom took chemo for a very long time. So you are in my prayers, beautiful, okay? All of our prayers. You guys are so amazing. I just want to tell you guys that. I don't even think that Goose really has to worry about too much, even when she's in here. And also Sparkle Baby, like, you guys are so nice, so respectful. And I appreciate that. Just like Goose said, it's amazing. So I love it. But what I will say is that's very suspicious. And that's another thing too. This woman, Dre McCrae, thinks she's God. She has a God complex. I have never heard of a person asking if they could withhold something to the public. Like, I've never heard of that. Like, I've heard of asking a judge that, but I've never heard of calling a police station and saying, can you make sure that that's like, I've never heard of anything like that. Maybe other people have, but I never have. Okay. 911 calls and all that stuff, that's public. There's nothing you can do about that. But this woman has the audacity to do that. And someone who's supposedly, like Goose said, is supposed to be a reporter, wouldn't you be like, whoa, why would she withhold that information? Jealousy is a very ugly disease, you guys. It really is. Jealous people will do some crazy, crazy things. So to me, that's really all this was about Without a Crystal Ball, is she was jealous. Unfortunately, the family just didn't want to align with her. They didn't like her vibe. They didn't like the way she moved, and they are well within that right. And to me, if KJ could have just sat her ass down somewhere and covered this case with integrity, respect, people wouldn't be saying nothing to her. Maybe she would be gaining subscribers too. You don't have to, everything doesn't go your way, and not everything's gonna go your way. And you could just tell that she's the type of person where if things don't go her way, she wants nothing to do with it, and she's gonna go above and beyond to seek vengeance. And I'm sorry to Letitia and her family that they have to deal with this. Because one thing I will say is, with them, you guys have a right to question anything when it comes to you donating your money. And that's it. I will stand by that no matter what. However, that has nothing to do with her saying Letitia's carrying a weapon across state lines. What the fuck?
Oh, yeah, actually, I'm glad you brought that up. Because one of the things that I wrote up about that was, so, you know, KJ wants to always claim she's for Black Lives Matter and da-da-da-da-da all the time. Whenever she can, she'll say that. Well, what about this, KJ? And I hope you're listening to this, because this goes to show that you're really not for Black Lives Matter. Because if you actually cared and you actually used your brain for once, you would think that it wouldn't be smart to say that a Black woman is carrying a gun in her car. And I think that everybody in chat knows exactly what I'm saying. So for you to announce that, did she ever think, oh, you know what? Maybe Letitia just said that because she felt bad for KJ. Maybe she just said that because she was, you know, trying to say, hey, you know what? I feel bad for you too. You know, sometimes people will say things just because they're trying to make them maybe feel a little bit more comfortable or something like that. But for you to put it out to the world, she put that in a private text to you. She didn't put it in a comment. She didn't say it on a live. No, she said it privately to you. I sure as hell hope that someday people that KJ has trusted put out the dirty shit that she has said, because it's only a matter of time before people eventually turn and say, oh, KJ told me this. KJ asked me to do this, blah, 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 because it's disgusting what she's doing. She could literally get Letitia pulled over. And if those officers have a report, oh, by the way, this person is carrying a weapon, what do you think's going to happen? You think they're just going to go up to the window and be like, hi, miss, can you please get out of the vehicle? No, they're going to go in, guns blazing, you know, pointing them to her, having her walk, you know, it's just, that made me so mad.
And who's talking about, like, she has been talking about Black Lives Matter since this case started. But yet you're talking about, just like you said, a Black woman doing that. But here's also the thing. If you care so much about Black Lives Matter, why would you go out of your way to make a Black woman, a Black family in general, look like criminals? Why was that the first thing that you felt was necessary to do? Put out Marvin Sr., all of his past. You put out Wynette and their relationship and the things that they've went through in the past. If you care so much about Black Lives Matter, why is it that you're trying to go out of your way to make these Black people look like criminals? Because that's what you're doing, in my opinion. You're throwing them under the, exactly, Maria, you took the words right out of my mouth. You're throwing them under the bus, and you're going out of your way to make people think they're criminals. You're going out of your way to make Letitia look like she's some kind of a con artist. If you cared so much about Black Lives Matter, you wouldn't be doing that to these Black people. Now, I'm not saying that people, excuse me, I'm not saying that people don't have a past and that other people don't deserve to know about their past, but their past has nothing to do with Vaughn. The information that you're putting out there about, Marvin Sr., his situation that happened in the past, what does that have to do with Vaughn in the hospital fighting for his life in a coma? It has nothing to do with it. The first thing you did to discredit them was bring up their past. The first thing that all of the things that you're doing is trying to make this family look like they're a family of criminals. That's what you're doing. You even brought up Letitia's past from a long time ago when she was younger. If you cared so much about the integrity of Black Lives Matter, you would not be trying and going out of your way to make this Black family look like they're a bunch of criminals. That's just my opinion.
Absolutely. And, she wants to bring up their past and this, that, and the other. But you know what is really crappy for her is that her present, what she has done just recently to people, like the bus rolling that she does with every single thing she can possibly do. When something doesn't go her way, whether it's a source that's turned, like let's say Todd Chrisley's daughter, let's bus roll her. When it's Clark Swanson, when he was given her information, and then Toddy Suter, then let's bus roll him. When it's Anna Duggar King, when she was talking to her, and then all of a sudden she realized, oh crap, KJ's kind of a shit person. So, okay, let's bus roll her now. Every single time. This is her MO. She hasn't changed. She continues to be the same crap person with every single thing she covers. And it's disgusting. Instead of her pointing her finger at somebody else, she needs to look in the mirror and do some serious self-reflection. But she won't, because like you said, she's a malignant narcissist. In my opinion. She won't change her ways, because in her eyes, she doesn't think she's doing anything wrong. She thinks that, oh, well, I'll just say this because it sounds right, or I'll just do this because it looks okay. Well, no, KJ, it's time that you actually look at yourself and think about, like, oh, wait, maybe I'm making these things worse. Maybe I'm actually hurting real people. She wants to, there's plenty of videos out there of her crying and being like, people are just bullying me and this, that, and the other. If you didn't bully people, that wouldn't happen to you. I would like to find just a few things where KJ bitches and plays the victim when she hasn't done it first, and then it's people reacting to her.
I would just like to see her for once ever just to be a decent person. That's what I would love to see. I would just like to see her handle a case with some kind of integrity and just be a decent person. That's like, how would you like it if one day, God forbid, you and your husband gets a divorce and he comes on YouTube and tells everything about you? How would you like that? Would that bother you? How would you like if maybe you have a criminal record that we haven't seen and one of your ex-mods put it out? I'm just saying, like, how would you like it if the tables were turned? That's what I'm saying. These things have not happened to her yet. So therefore, she feels it's okay to continue to do what she does. But one day, it's going to happen. I'm telling you. And when it happens, how are you going to handle it, KJ? How are you going to handle being drug in the mud and being thrown under the bus when somebody comes out with your business and puts it out there? What are you going to do? You going to cry victim? Yeah, we already know that. Are you going to sue? You were already threatening to send Justice for All and Molly cease and desist because you wanted this case so bad. You wanted them to shut up. This is your fault. It would have been great to have somebody like her on the case talking about it. To be honest with you, she has a good platform. It would have been great, but that's not what you're doing. The only reason why you're doing this is, I've said it a million times, but also you're piggybacking off of Sherelle. But Sherelle never stated that she had concerns about Letitia. She never said that. She just said that people were coming to her about concerns with the Cash App. She didn't say anything about Letitia. You took everything and turned it around. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. And I'm just saying, what's going to happen when this happens to you? Somebody, it's gonna happen one day. I'm telling you guys.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time. I mean, she wants to talk about like this GoFundMe and how the father needs the money and stuff, and how he's already racked up like, $8K and spending and stuff like that. And I guess she has allegedly said that, it could cost 18 grand. It could cost a whole lot more than that. I spent literally in the $90,000 just for my custody case. And so I know just how expensive it can be. But we also have to think the benefit of a custody case in this situation is that there's other organizations that will get involved, like the police, like CPS. And yes, CPS does mess up a lot. But with Vaughn, it's different because yes, there are things that are similar to like CPS, but for adults and the elderly and stuff like that. But again, you have to get an attorney in order to, contact these resources, try to get him an advocate, like get him in touch, or the situation more or less in touch with an advocacy group. That's going to be very expensive unless you've worked with an attorney, which KJ should know. I'm sure she's spent tens of thousands of dollars with attorneys trying to fight off people that she's screwed over. If anybody knows about attorney fees, she should know. And it's like, just because, and the same thing, like somebody said it in the chat too about the funds, just because somebody drives a 2022 Hyundai Palisade doesn't mean they're rolling in dough. I'm sorry. I used to sell brand new Hyundais, and they're nice cars, but just because somebody is driving one doesn't mean they bought it brand new. It doesn't mean that they paid cash for it. Most people nowadays, they make payments on it. So that means she's probably making around a $500 a month payment, which is, a decent payment for people. But it also, like Heather Gray said earlier, most people have money for bills and food, not to drive across the country and pay for gas, room and board, attorney fees, etc. So just because she's given, and again, we don't know if she's given the attorney more. We only knew to start with she had given the attorney a $4,000 retainer. I would bet money that $4,000 retainer is already used up and she's had to give the attorney more money. If not, I would be shocked. But it's going to be expensive. It's like, and when these people are, and the same thing, like people were talking shit about, Vaughn's dad and his stepmom, Wynette, and, why are people helping them now? Okay, well, when they drove there, they didn't ask for help. And when they came back, Letitia actually asked, hey, can you take mine down for a little bit and put up theirs? Because when they got back, they literally had like less than $3 in their bank account. And you know what? If people want to donate, let them donate. It's just like when people like unsubscribe or leave the chat or something like that on YouTube. You do not need to announce your departure. Just like if you have an issue and you don't want to donate, which in this case, I think she just wanted to donate to the father. And because she's, a petty bitch, she decided that she could get her money back from Letitia and give it to the father, because now Letitia wasn't talking to her and allegedly a source from the father is. But it's like, right.
She is a horrible person. I can't even. I want to share something though that somebody sent me. I don't know if you want to remain anonymous, so I won't say your name, but thank you for sending this to me, and it's definitely something to think about. Hold on. Okay. So you see this email here. This is the email that she posted, right? And then this here is, I think what she posted, they're different though. I think.
Yeah, because she edited it like 9 times.
Right.
And she wonders why people worry about like her putting out actual facts.
And it says, this was what she had posted to begin with. How did the friend's email go from the first picture to the second picture to the final? And who would be so brazen as to just email someone they don't know and say thanks? And here's my friend's Cash App. How about getting your subscribers to pay his legal fees? Yeah, it didn't happen. She's full of crap. She also lied about the lady she said messaged her about her son. I have proof of that as well. So basically, this is edited. You're saying?
Yeah. So if you go into Facebook and you pull up, you can actually, if you so what you could do is go and you can pull it up so you can actually see it straight from Facebook. Go to her Facebook, and then I'll tell you how to check it really. And then people will see that, like, just so for people can see like the actual post, and then they can see where, because I know some people were here the other night, but I don't know if everybody was. But when you go on Facebook and you're looking at a post, you can't be already clicked on the post, but like when you're just previewing, just looking at it before you like click on it or whatever, you know, when you're scrolling somebody's feed, at the top of it, there'll be 3 dots over to the top right. We did this the other day, Teaya, with one. I think it was when she put out that really nasty post about about his dad. And we showed just how many times she had edited it. This is the same thing, but with the family and the Cash App for allegedly for the father. When you click on that, she's edited that, like, I think between like 6 and 9 times. I can't remember exactly the number on that one, but yeah, it's like, okay, so
why do you have to edit it so many times? Right?
Why not just put out an updated, like, you know, here's an updated response allegedly from the you know, a person who allegedly knows the father and allegedly emailed me, you know? I mean,
right. Hold on, let me see here. Holy shit. Okay.
Iowa girl, you can email it to Teaya. Can you tell, since I'm not in chat, can you tell her your email?
Yeah, I'll put it down here. We're such insomniacs, you guys.
I do better at night.
Yeah, me too. Okay, let me share my screen. I'm not a morning person. Never happened, never will be. Okay, so I don't know if this is the edit. Wait, okay. So is it this one? Or is it another one?
No. So it would be the one where, let's see. Keep going. It's the one where she
has so many.
Hold on. Wait, go up a little bit, I think.
This is going from to July 23rd. So
yeah,
today's 25th, 26th.
So wait, go down below the wife swap thing.
Mm-hmm.
Go below that. Which is that? What's that one right there?
This one?
Up one.
That's the wife swap.
Oh, no, yeah. Sorry, it's off just a little bit on the screen then. So there's what, let me do this. Why don't I hop off and I'll send you I can tell you I'll come right back and then I'll tell you what the date and time are.
Okay, go ahead. I'm going to show you guys something real quick while I'm on here. Okay. And this is where she posted like all the text messages right here. Can I click on this? Like all the text messages that she has shared with, you know, when the family did communicate with her. And it says, one of the first clues that I got something was off was in this situation with Wynette. When she reached out to her, she left comments on my videos, then called me. She came to me at the encouragement of her husband, Marvin Sr. She said, Wynette said Letitia got mad at her for speaking to me. More than once, Wynette brought up that Letitia didn't want anyone else speaking on the situation. When Wynette gave me permission to share her Cash App after Molly shared this on her channel, she was said that was fine. Then she contacted me after and asked me to remove the Cash App because it upset Letitia. Wynette expressed concern about her own financial situation numerous times. I'm not going to sit on this info any longer. In the first screenshot, Wynette told me not tell Letitia we were speaking, but I had already spoken to Letitia at this point, and Letitia knew we had spoken. When I finally called her, she told me Letitia threatened to K her for speaking on the situation. They also didn't want Molly to know that I was speaking to them, which made me concerned. I started to realize that they were playing both sides, Molly and me, telling one thing and Molly another. Why were they so weird about Molly not knowing we spoke? When I started asking questions, I never got answers, ever. Wynette only asked me to stop contact after Molly caught wind that she was speaking to me. Kind of suspect. FYI, this is my personal experience in the situation. The screenshots are from Wynette based upon these statements and what I experienced. This is why I stopped supporting the situation. No, you stopped supporting the situation because they didn't want anything to do with you. And these are like literally all, like, she just put all of their business out there, you know? But let somebody do that shit to her and see what happens. Oh, sorry, Goose. Let somebody do that to her. Let somebody put all kinds of text messages out there to her and see how she reacts to it.
Right. And also it could be that maybe they were talking to both sides first to see which because again, these are like Katie and Marissa, they're both strangers to them. Like they don't know if who they're going to trust yet. So maybe that's why they decided to kind of stay quiet with each person so they could go and try to figure out like, okay, I've heard maybe bad things about both people. And so I want to figure out for myself who I can trust. And then, you know, in the end, they can clearly trust one person more than the other. And KJ is mad. And so she's going, you know, off on that. But that's her own fault.
Agree. You know, I don't think that acknowledging this, you know, from Justin and Molly's standpoint, I think that's a great idea to ignore her because that's all she wants is attention. Like if I was in direct contact with her family, I wouldn't have any need to go back and forth with KJ because that's exactly what she wants, to cause chaos, to cause, you know, espionage. That's all she's trying to do.
So look up July 21st, and I believe it would be like 4:51 p.m. your time. That's the post that we're looking for.
Yeah, I figured it was down further.
Yeah,
I think we were almost there.
July 21st, and I think it starts off. You'll be able to tell, but I think the time is 4:51 p.m. your time.
Okay. Well, she posts a lot, like a lot. Does she post this much on Instagram, you guys?
Look at how much she posts videos on YouTube. Oh, and actually, somebody brought up another good point too, is just how much she's choosing to post on Facebook, but she's not posting on YouTube. You know, she's clearly trying to keep like certain stuff just dirtier on Facebook than on YouTube. And because she knows that, you know, she doesn't want to have to turn her comments off and have people notice that. But yeah, she's on Twitter all the time. She's on,
yeah, and she never was like that. Never, ever. But I really do think she's seen that number that Dre has on Facebook, and it's like freaking gold to her. Like, oh my God, look at all her subscribers. I really feel like that was part of her plan. And now her plans are changing because nobody wants anything to do with her. So why not try to appease Dre? Okay,
yeah,
what time?
What time did you say? Look up July 21st. I think it should be like 4:51 p.m. your time.
Okay. I mean, she just had, wow, okay.
I know for sure that it's the 21st and it's something 51 p.m., but I'm pretty sure that it's 4:51 would be your time. Because
that's the police report.
That time or that day?
That day.
Yeah, I think she has more than one
You
thing
sure she
posted.
didn't delete it?
I just saw it.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, I found it. You are absolutely right. Okay.
So before you click on the actual post, when it's still like on the thread, then you can click on the 3 little dots on the right, and then click edit history or edit whatever it is.
Okay.
View edit history.
Edit history is right here. So see all edits. This is all the edits that she did.
So it shows you basically at 4:51 your time. So 4:51 on the East Coast was when she originally posted it. And then 2 minutes later, she did an edit.
Another edit, yeah.
Yep. And she attached two attachments. And then, what was the next? Then like, it's like a few minutes, and then like an hour later, and then 10 minutes later, and then.
Why all these edits?
It's almost like she pays attention to the comments or whatever's coming out, and then she edits it accordingly, or she takes stuff out if she's getting crap or whatever. But it's kind of gross because, she ends up turning off her comments, and then she deletes like all the ones that, I mean, I can understand like if you're going to delete stuff that's just really nasty towards you. But if you're a journalist and you're a reporter and, you're all for the, First Amendment and everything like that, why delete it all? That's kind of like hypocritical on your part.
It is. Like, everybody edits things, like you might see a mistake or something, but to do that much editing to me is sus. You know what I mean? Like I've never seen anything like that before. And I think most of all, she had a plan to pretty much, I see here on her page a lot that she's trying to discredit Molly, which we already knew she was trying to do that. Because
go ahead and promote the wife swap. I mean, geez Louise, it's a TV show. She got paid 20 grand to be on a TV show, and she was like, yeah, let's do it. And the funny thing is, for those of you who don't know, the gal who was in that wife swap, she is now back in a big giant house wearing her high heels and everything like that. The one who has been on the farm with her family, like she's back to living how she used to live prior to being on the farm, and even more like elaborate. So it's just, some people don't realize, like, even if it is reality TV and there are a lot of things that are, real on it, there's still like, they still try to get you mad at the other person. They still try to, poke the bear on either side and stuff like that. It doesn't mean it's 100% factual. And,
it's a reality TV show. Okay.
Right. If people are going to say the Kardashians are fake, then they can't really say that wife swap is real.
Right. Everybody has a script. It is what it is. She literally did a whole post about Molly Golightly is a YouTube bully that believes her money can buy people's loyalty and access to stories. She's not. She knows she collects personal information from people. She helps, then uses it against them later. Like, she has this huge post.
Isn't it funny how when you read that, you could literally flip it around and it actually explains KJ to a T?
It does. Molly cannot share anything. They tell them. That's so true, because Molly cannot share anything they tell them. I cannot say a word. Molly can reveal their messages Oh my God.
Wait, what is that?
What? I'm going to read this real quick.
Okay.
Molly Golightly is a YouTube bully that believes her money can buy people's loyalty and access to stories. She showers people at the center of tragedies with money and claims she is doing it all for a good deed. She's not. She's known to collect personal information from people she helps, then uses it against them later. So many people have been victimized by her. She finds people in tragedy, showers them with money and goodwill, and bullies everyone else out of the story. Then, if a person doesn't appreciate what she's done for them, she threatens, harasses, and exposes the personal information they gave them. Wow, okay. She has all but paid off Vaughn's family with the amount of money she's thrown their way while lying about me to them to make them believe I'm the bad one. Molly can share anything they tell them. I cannot say a word. Molly can reveal their messages publicly. If I do it, I'm causing drama. Molly has made these people believe that I'm harassing them when I'm not. I've done nothing but try to help them, but I would but what I wouldn't do was pay for access. I donated to help, but I won't pay anyone for access. That's what Molly did. She kept throwing money to the family that needed it. I'm glad they got what they needed, but I am scared that if they ever catch on to her, that she will hurt Vaughn's family. Sure, make me the bad guy. But I worry, wait, what did she say? But I won't ever try to impress people with money. That's Molly. She has years of history doing this and damaging people for attention and views. This is Molly Golightly. She's a damn mess. How dare she literally ruin this family's opportunity for the story to go further than her psychotic and delusional platform. Wow.
I mean, she pretty much explained herself right there. And then to make matters worse,
explained herself. That's exactly what she just did to the family.
And then she thinks she's smart, but I'll tell you this, and I think people in the comment section would probably agree that she literally, by saying like Molly's like paying them for, you know, this, that, or the other, or, you know, sending them money or whatever. KJ, you're basically like, just like you do all the time with these, you know, backhanded compliments that you give other people, you're basically saying that Vaughn's parents aren't smart enough to walk away from somebody if they don't agree with like something that's being put out. The thing is that Justin and Marissa they're not going to put out information that could potentially like hurt the parents like you're doing. You know, there's information that came out that they held on to until the time was right. You know, there's information that they'll get. Yeah, KJ doesn't care about that because at the end of the day, she really wants the clicks and views so that she can be the first to report or whatever. And yeah, you know what? A lot of people want to be able to report the quote unquote news first. But at the end of the day, there's certain times when you don't do that because it could hurt the family. It could hurt Vaughn, whatever the situation is. You know, it's like, I'm sure Katie didn't think that maybe she shouldn't put out the father's last name and the first name, you know, the nickname part he goes by, because that's not very smart. You say this man wants to, you know, have his anonymity, but yet you've literally put in a post, which is now ironically edited, but you put in there the man's like first almost legal name and his last name and where he works and how he has a prominent job and this, that, and the other. Why would you do that? Oh, that's right. Because you want to, you know, be the first to report on certain things and get attention, but yet you won't do it respectfully. Like, I guarantee that if Vaughn's parents, both his bio mother and bio father and the stepmother and the stepfather, felt that Marissa and Justin were doing something that was going to hurt their son, they would walk away no matter how much money they got, because at the end of the day, right is right and wrong is wrong. And she's basically just trying to say that in a way, she's saying that his parents are ignorant or stupid, and that's not okay.
Thank you so much, Nicole. You're so sweet. I appreciate that, babe. Thank you, beautiful. Thank you, Tia, for what you do. I'm a new watcher from MGL. She said you had a wonderful, unbiased channel. Much love. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And also, X Sparkle Baby, you're doing a great job. Just wanted to let you know. Another thing that I want to make very, very clear is, let's just face it, without a crystal ball, your reputation precedes you and it's catching up with you now. Like, that is the reality of the situation. It is catching up with you, and now there's just so much overwhelming information out there about you. Nobody wants to work with you, and you're going to figure it out even more and more, because I'll tell you what, right now, even if you were to gravitate to Dre, which I think that's what your plan is, because I feel like you're that type of person that thinks you need to be close to somebody directly tied to a case, you think that you have to be close to that person in order to report on a case, which is ridiculous. A real reporter does not have to be in direct contact with somebody who's tied to a case. They don't. A real reporter gets the story no matter what. And in my personal opinion, I think that even if you were to gravitate to Dre, she's not going to be stupid enough to align herself with you either. After everything that you've said about her, after everything that you've done, you would have been better off just sticking to what you initially believed in. And I want to show you guys something that shows very clearly how enthusiastic she was about this case.
People can keep working together, and I think the big thing with
I showed this earlier, but just look at how enthusiastic she is.
These kinds of stories is like putting differences aside, and the audience don't get mad at creators and say this person's doing it for clout and this person's doing it for clout.
But isn't that exactly what you're doing, KJ? Like, you're not getting the clout you wanted. So now you're throwing other creators who's covering this under the bus, but not other creators, just creators who's close with the family.
For clout, if we're not doing it, who's talking about it then?
That's right.
And how do you help his family?
Well, the family are very appreciative. They're
Absolutely.
very appreciative.
Crying on my channel. She said she contacted me this afternoon, and she said, "You have no idea how I'm so thankful that you're there for him." And and she said this was a blessing. When she got the money yesterday, she was crying.
I was wondering about his dad and his stepmom. Right. They cashed through their whole savings.
You see how much you cared about that before, but now they're a scam. They're scamming people now. Justice for Vaughn isn't real.
Letitia has they need a lawyer.
They do need a lawyer.
Yes, they do need an attorney. They do. And this is going to, you're sitting here, you're showing Letitia's car, her truck or whatever. What was that, a truck or a car she showed? I don't know.
It was an SUV. And can you imagine if someone did that to KJ? They'd probably, if someone went and took a picture of KJ's car, KJ'd go, "Oh my God, now my life is in danger." Like, Katie, you literally showed a vehicle and then you literally talked about how she's carrying right now. Like, how stupid are you? You say you're, like I said before, and I'm just going to say it again really quick for the new people in chat, but you say you're for Black Lives Matter, but then you literally put out that this woman is carrying, and you literally showed like the vehicle that she's driving. Like, let's be real stupid here, Trying
to insinuate that she has money and she's making so much money, but in the beginning you were advocating because you know how much money she has. A long road ahead of her. Letitia does. She does. If she's going to take the initiative to do whatever it is that she has to do, for her grandson, whatever, it's going to cost money. Attorneys cost a lot of money, and you were very much aware of that in the beginning, but now it's all a hoax. It's all a scam. Justice for Vaughn isn't real. It was made up by Letitia for money. You should be ashamed of yourself.
They need a lawyer.
That lawyer, it's gonna get lit. It has just begun. It's gonna get so much worse.
I know. The police need to reopen this investigation.
They're going to.
The police need to reopen the investigation. Okay. But now you're saying you don't believe anything malicious happened on Dre's side. You believe that it is what it is, and that Vaughn really did unalive himself. And basically you believe that the police report is exactly what it says and that nothing needs to be done. The investigation is done, even though like a week ago you said the investigation was open. Now you're saying the investigation needs to be, nobody needs to talk about it anymore because it is what it is, right? Allegedly.
Do I know it? I can see it.
Definitely.
You don't know me yet. Without a crystal ball, you don't know me yet.
Oh no,
I have a crystal ball. It's like a weird mirror that I like put my eyebrows in. To the future. It's really strange.
I have a crystal ball. It's right there.
It's a damn shame how fake you were acting in this video, because this isn't you.
Right? That's what I said in the beginning, like when she was on the lives and stuff, and she was like, "Hi guys, welcome to the channel." You know, and just it's like, okay, does anybody ever notice how she gets so smiley and like cheesy when she's talking about the most morbid things? Like every time she'd talk about Josh Duggar or Todd Chrisley, she'd be like had the like Ronald McDonald grin on her face.
You're absolutely right.
I have
got my bagpipes if we need them.
So my moderator Scarlett got that for me.
Aw.
That's so sweet.
So yeah. Well,
I raised from Arizona.
Oh God. Please do more lives with them. Well, we can do that.
Absolutely.
So what happened? Why couldn't you do more lives? Could have been great. The three of you working and talking about this case together could have been great. But unfortunately, you don't have the capacity.
She can't work as a team. It's I with her.
Exactly.
Because like, did you ever hear her say like, hey, share these videos, get them out there, use, you know, if you want to clip it, cut it, share it, whatever. You never ever hear her say that, but you'll hear Molly and Justin say it numerous times, like, use my stuff, get it out there. This is about people seeing stuff, you know. Instead, you've got KJ going, no, come over to my channel because this can be released by me because this person, blah, blah, blah. And then that came out later that was totally false. And the person, unfortunately for KJ, went on their channel and said, yeah, no, I didn't say that. Actually, what I said was I just wanted to remain anonymous.
Exactly. It says, thank you for the super chat, Nicole. Thank you so much, beautiful. It says, did Krusty Joyless look up Dre's parents' background? Just curious. I don't think so. Did she? I don't think. No. She may have.
I don't know. I don't think so, because her thing right now is just going, I mean, think about it. She's literally attacked the people that either aren't working with her, have made her look bad, or like turn their back, basically.
Right. So they really don't have anything to do with this. So I don't think she's done that yet. But I'm telling you guys, no matter how much she sits there and tries to say that she's done with this case, she's not. I really do feel like she thinks that there's something in this for her. And in my opinion, I feel like she's just gravitating more to Dre's side. That's just, and I'm just like I said, I would not doubt if Dre opened her inbox and there's a huge message from Without a Crystal Ball right there for her for an apology and everything else, because I just feel like Without a Crystal Ball she's a very relentless person. She's relentless, and I just don't think that she would just walk away from this case after everything that she thinks she's done. You know, if you guys really think about it, from the beginning, she was for Dre, everything like that, and it was justice for Vaughn and everything that Dre was doing when it comes to Vaughn and the herbs and the K and everything like that. That was the focus. But when things weren't going her way, she tried to deflect off of justice for Vaughn and Dre and the herbs, and then she kind of brought it more and made it more about the children. Obviously, the children are very important. However, that's not what this case was supposed to be about, you guys. This case was about justice for Vaughn. Hashtag justice for Vaughn. And then she started making it more about the kids. So she supposedly contacts the kid's father. I don't know if he didn't want to talk to her or not, but then she ends up getting in contact with the father's friend, allegedly. All of this is allegedly, but I'm just saying she did whatever she had to do to be very close to this case. And because it didn't work, in my opinion, because she's so relentless and stubborn and is afraid to admit that she's wrong, I don't see her just walking away and saying, I'm done with this case. I said what I had to say. If that was the case, she would have done this a long time ago. When the family didn't want to talk to her, she wouldn't have contacted Dre's ex-husband and then ended up ultimately talking to his friend. She wouldn't have done those things. She would have walked away a while ago, a week ago. But because she feels she's so deep into this case, why do you think she keeps posting on Facebook? She's constantly on Facebook. She's been posting back to back about this case. I don't believe she's going to walk away from that. I believe she's just waiting for the right opportunity to talk to Dre.
Right. I agree. And I think too that you know, I don't know if Dre watches these videos at all, but maybe if she's watching this one, you know, I think it'd be, if she has been reached out by KJ, it would be interesting, you know, just, I know she's not going to likely do any lives or anything like that, but it'd be interesting if she was sent an email by KJ or one of her mods, just, you know, just drop a post, you know, just as an idea, drop a post of what she said. And, you know, it would surprise me if Dre went, you know, like along with KJ too, because KJ has been doing so much to help allegedly the father to, you know, get custody of the kids. So I don't see Dre even going along with KJ at all, because she's kind of burned both sides. If you think about it, I mean, she's ticked off Dre by calling her an MURDER. And she has now ticked off the parents, and, you know, the father wanted to stay anonymous, and she's in a way also ruined that part. And so she's just really, really good at digging herself a grave. And no, KJ, I don't mean that as a death threat. Let's just be clear. I'm just saying you're really good at like screwing yourself over.
Yeah. And that's exactly what she's done. And I hope she's done talking about this case. I won't call her out anymore if she's done talking about it. I won't. I mean, what could I call her out for? I'll still call her out on her shitty behavior, but I'm not going to continue to call her out on this case, obviously, if she's not talking about it. But in my opinion, I just don't feel she's that type. I don't feel she's that type to walk away from something like this. I just don't. Let's see.
And we can share. She can hop on mine. We can hop on hers.
Did she ever go on Molly's panel or
Of course not.
She didn't? Okay. I didn't think so.
And it's also funny because she wants to call herself, you know, the reporter, journalist, whatever the flavor of the day is. But like, if that were the case, why aren't you going over like the information having to do with the stuff that is coming out with not just the 911 calls, but like the stuff that came out today and the 911 thing that we went over earlier about Dre calling and literally saying she was curious if the incident report could be sealed, so then the parents wouldn't be able to see it. And they literally told her like, no, it's public record. And they actually told her that she should consider getting an attorney. I don't remember the specific verbiage they used, but they did recommend that she get an attorney. And so whatever that means.
Yeah, I don't understand how a person can think that they could seal a 911 call. That just shows you right there what a God complex this woman has. Like, seriously.
Right. I think.
Can I post his mom's Cash App?
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think the only time that I've ever seen something like that happen was, remember with the California boys, Orrin and Orson. I believe that I think that they sealed the 911 call, but that was because it was like a 99% chance that it was criminal right from the beginning. Like, it wasn't like this where it was, well, I think for all of us, iffy at best, but like, or at the least. And then now they're investigating it more. That was like, you know, two little boys go missing and they want to release the 911 call, the report, or anything having to do with the case. And I don't think they have yet because the parents have been arrested. So
no, I haven't heard that, Natalie. I have not heard that about Dre at all. That definitely is allegedly.
Actually, I believe I think so that was something else that was covered on the live with the report. So like the report that you played earlier, that little snippet. So I can't remember if it was an actual report that was made or not, but yeah, it sounds like it was like 2 a.m, if I recall. Somebody in chat might have the correct thing, but it was like 2 a.m. the kids had been left home alone, and I think the ages were like 13, 11, and 4 or something. I can't remember specifically the ages. And then there was even something else that came out where she might have allegedly left them home when she went on a trip for the jewelry thing.
Oh, that's not good. Yes. Let me see here. Yes, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I get what you're saying, Amber, and you are 100% entitled to your opinion, sweetie. You can't. Everybody can think whatever, however they feel, and we have to respect each other's opinions. Okay, let's listen to the rest of this real quick.
Does anyone have her Cash App? There's like a fake Cash App.
There's a fake one.
Yes.
I don't know. I'll put it in the description.
Yeah.
And then I think there's a real GoFundMe too, right?
Yes, officially.
Okay. So I will link the GoFundMe for Letitia and the Cash App for Tisha.
Let her know.
And they need attorneys, and we will keep at this. Oh, at Miss L. Okay, so this is her Cash App.
Yes.
L bias.
Now there's one it's the very first one, and it's not the one that says Justice for Vaughn. Not that one. It is strictly this one.
Okay.
Strictly that one.
So not the one that says Justice for Vaughn. This is the Cash. This is the Cash App.
It's the first one that pops up. Yes.
Okay.
All right, Katie. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, because I'm sorry, I'm the one that told them about you. Well, thank you guys for joining me. Thank you, audience, for being here. We're going to keep on spreading awareness, and we'll be back, I'm sure, with more.
God bless you. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
She is so.
You could tell she was almost like irritated because she didn't have all the answers.
Oh, really? I didn't notice that.
Maybe it's just me, but it seemed like, she starts off all smiley, and then when they answer certain stuff and she doesn't have the answers, that like cheeky smile is like melting away more and more and more. So then at the end, she's like, okay, guys, like,
yeah. Well, here's what I will say. She definitely, I think that it would have been cool for the three of them to work together. I do. It sucks that they couldn't. And it's not, I will honestly say, and this is 100% my unbiased opinion. I will 100% say, because I don't know Molly and I don't know Justin. I don't know without a crystal ball. I just know what I see and what I've seen throughout this case. And it was 100% not their fault. It was not Molly's fault, and it was not Justice for All's fault. Like, they literally, I think, would not have had a problem working with her if it was a two-way street. And I think if she would have been very generous with, going to their panel just as much as them going on her panel, if she didn't try to take over the case, when she got the sources reached out to her to give her the audio, she could have been like, hey, I have the audio. Can you bring your audience over here and we can talk about it? Or she could have even said better, I'll bring the audio over there and we can do commentary on it. She didn't have to act the way that she did. It was 100% her doing. It was Katie Joy's doing. She ruined it, and it could have been great. I'm sure the family would have been in contact with all three of them if she just, and I think more or less she's disappointed in herself. She's never going to admit that. She's going to deflect, and she's just going to continue to deflect and divert everything. That's her MO. But she has shown me in so many ways that no matter what she's a part of, I don't care what it is, what she's covering, what she's talking about, it's always going to turn into a catastrophe. Every fucking time. That's just my opinion. everyone that she has worked with, from everyone, has turned into a circus. And it's so sad that so many people in my comment sections literally predicted exactly what this woman was going to do. That's a shame. That's a shame.
You would think that after doing this so many times that she would get the clue that, you know, maybe I'm doing something wrong, you know, and narcissists don't realize that stuff.
It's a shame. But I don't think she's going to stop talking about it. I'm sorry. I'm
Absolutely
sure people
not.
will disagree with me, but I really do feel like I don't know what her views were from covering this case, like on YouTube. I know that I think Justice for Vaughn and the other group kicked her out of it, if I'm not mistaken, allegedly. I think they did.
I don't know. I know that some of her supporters were kicked out because I saw a bunch of comments where they were like almost laughing about it. And I thought that was really gross. Yeah, there's comments. I don't know if I still have them or not, but it was really gross. Somebody had sent me some info and I was just like, oh, seriously? But I know that, you know, it's sad though, because like people are going into that group and just bashing creators. So they're trying to say like, you know, no bashing all the way around. And but it's just so crazy to me how KJ can just literally like just not like you said, she's not going to stop covering it because in her eyes, this is what, you know, she's getting attention. And so if you think about like when she said like, I'm not going to cover this case because of, you know, whatever the one comment in the post said, but she had to make herself look like a victim. And, you know, she only did that so she could try to get some of the attention back. You're muted.
Oops, sorry, I was muted. Goose is very educated about. She has a very special way of conveying how KJ is. She's very knowledgeable. She is like she's very knowledgeable with this. I think she was probably happy to know that I was covering KJ because she knows so much about.
Well, it takes me. Yeah, and it I mean, you know me, it takes me a lot to get worked up about something. I usually like don't lose my cool and you know, especially like on a live or whatever. But she makes me so mad because it's like tonight when she said the thing about Letitia and carrying and then showed her vehicle, and then it's like she talks out of both sides of her mouth, and it's like, no, you cannot say you're for Black Lives Matter and then literally do this to a Black woman, show her car, then say she's carrying. Like, how stupid are you? Like that made me so mad. And then the Marine thing, talking about like, well, now I really think after going over the report and this, that, and the other, like, again, KJ, are you so stupid that you don't realize that the report was literally made off of what Dre said? They didn't interview the kids. They didn't interview anybody who knew Vaughn. No. They didn't, you know, they hadn't even looked into any of the videos to see what Vaughn was about. Like, oh, and then actually one last thing I forgot to talk about was KJ said, you know, that what was it? Something about that Vaughn was saying stuff about, you know, his mother and this, that, and the other. And, you know, I firmly believe that he was in a DV situation, whether there was actually violence or just abuse. I believe that Dre was being abusive to him. I think a lot of us could tell in the videos with the control and the manipulation. This is my opinion and my opinion only, and I don't care if people don't believe me. I am a survivor of DV and SA, and looking at what was happening, it did not surprise me that he would say certain things because he knew if he didn't say what Dre wanted him to say, you get smart after a while. And you can even like tell by what the person is saying to you, when you're with your friends or whatever, you realize like they're trying to get you to say something kind of on their behalf or what they want you to say, even if you don't feel that way or not,
Yeah.
And so it makes me mad that she's like, it came out of his own mouth and, this, that, and the other. Yeah. We also heard her say to him like, oh, just tell the hospital that you're on, passion flower or kava kava or, valerian root or, whatever the single one was that time. It wasn't like, here, let me write this down for you, because actually if they give you the wrong thing with Xanax, like passion flower, it could have a really bad reaction.
Yeah.
It was like I felt like she was trying to cover herself and make sure that he didn't give the doctors a whole list of stuff, because then they might go, wait a second, sir, like this is contraindicated with this and you shouldn't take this with that. But he just got so used to, literally doing and saying whatever she wanted. And it was so sad to listen to that. Even like the one recording where some people they'll say like, oh, but look, he was being abusive towards her when he was yelling at her. I would bet money that was a very rare occasion. And I honestly don't think that he was being abusive with her. I think that he was literally at his wit's end, because he even said in the recording, like, I feel like if I stay here, something's going to happen to me. Like, I need to go. And then he kept saying like, I don't feel like I'm going to hurt myself. Like people have to really listen to the words that he was saying and then listen and watch her behavior.
Yeah.
Just because she was nice on a recording that she was recording. Again, I don't know how many people watched the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard thing, but how many times did Amber Heard record stuff and she was just like, all sweet and kind and everything like that on the recording, because she's recording it.
Exactly. Anybody's going to be a certain way if they're recording themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. It's never going to be like, you're not going to be your true self if you're recording. You're going to be nice. You're going to, like, in those recordings where she's recording herself as well, she's being very nice, very condescending, very passive aggressive, but in a very nice way. And I think because she was acting that way, it was making him even more mad. To me, she reminds me of Amber Heard. I personally think that with Dre, I'm not going to sit here and say that there's always two sides to every story. I'm not going to sit here and say that she did anything to him purposely, malicious. I'm not going to say that. What I will say is there are some suspicious things that need to be looked at. That's what I'm going to say. Because of the statistics when it comes to Black men doing things like that, for one. I'm going to say because of her behavior up until the point of him doing what he allegedly did. All of those things doesn't make any sense. Like, to me, it just looks like something that may have happened by mistake and was covered up. And this is allegedly, in my opinion. I seriously feel like a lot of the things that Dre was doing, pretending to be a doctor, and we will be going over those things, something just doesn't add up to me with that whole situation. And yes, the only person who told their side of the story is Dre. Nobody else has. Nobody else. We don't know Von's side of the story. I had somebody leave me a message, I think it was yesterday or today, and they're like, you guys, it's obviously a supporter of Dre, which I don't care. Anybody's welcome to comment. And she was respectful, and she just said, you guys are doing this. If Dre wanted for Von to be gone, then she would pull the plug and he would be gone. And she also, what else did she say? She said that, and you guys don't know, you're doing all of this defending for Von, but what happens when Von wakes up? How do you know that he's not going to be on Dre's side and be pissed off at everyone for going against Dre? And she's right. You have to look at things critically, you guys. You have to look at things from all aspects. And she's right. He could wake up tomorrow, and I pray that he wakes. I pray that he fights and that he survives. But when he survives and he wakes up, he could wake up tomorrow and be like, why is everybody treating you like this? This isn't true. All of this stuff. You just don't know. And if that was the case, that's just something that we all would have to accept. But even if that was the case, even if when he wakes up and he says, I love my wife, you guys need to leave my wife alone, there's still concerns about the way she treats him, right?
Exactly.
There's concerns about the herbs and her pretending to be a doctor. Those concerns are always going to be there. They're never going to leave. The way her behavior is not appropriate for in a marriage, in my opinion.
Right. You know, you have a point there, but I honestly feel like when he does wake up that if this did happen by his own doing, which I have my thoughts as well, but I feel like if that is what happened, he truly felt like there was no way out. I mean, you have no cell phone, you have no car, you can't contact your family. Yes, I get, like the person said the other day, you could go across the street, but until you've been in it, you don't know how hard it is to leave, especially when a child is involved. Like, it is not easy. I had to literally devise a plan and to get out with my daughter. She was only 2 years old at the time. His son was what, 6 or 7? Yes, he could have left, but if he really felt like there was abuse in the home, it is so hard to leave without your child. And now we know she called the police 25 freaking times and tried to make him look like a crap person, like he had all these issues and he was abusive and everything like that. And when that happens, you think the person's just going to walk out the door with their son and then hope that the police are going to be like, oh, hey, yeah, wait, your spouse called 911 on you 25 times and we're supposed to believe that you're the one that was being abused? I mean, she was clearly, in my opinion, having gone through this, I firmly believe that she felt that he was going to leave her at some point. She felt he was going to leave her. Wait, hold on. She felt, yeah, he was going to leave her at some point. And so she was literally setting these little breadcrumbs, trying to have a plan so that when he finally did leave, she could say, oh, well, no, but see all these times I called 911, see how he was abusive to me. Like, because that's what people do, even when they're the abusers. And I get that people won't ever understand that until they've actually been through it, but it is extremely common. 2 nights that my ex literally was being abusive to me, he called 911 himself and then hung up. And then when they showed up, of course, I didn't feel like I could say anything right then and there because of the circumstances. And so he was like, oh, I just accidentally dialed. This happens all the time. And I just hope that when he wakes up, that if he does not want to be with her, which is, I feel like he didn't want to be with her, that he has the support and he's able to finally leave and he doesn't feel trapped, because I feel that he was truly trapped.
Amen. I that's how I feel. But like I said, you always have to think of, when he does wake up, he could be like, I'm in love with my wife. We all make mistakes. We're going to work it out. But like I said, those concerns are still there no matter what. Those concerns are still present. You should have a phone. You should be able to go from A to B without your wife following you from A to B. You should be able to look through your phone without your wife snatching it out your hands. You should be able to eat whatever it is that you want to eat. And if you don't want to be on a vegan diet, then you don't have to be on a vegan diet. That's her thing. Just because she does it doesn't mean the whole family has to do it. That's not the way it works. These things are present no matter what, and those concerns are still there. Just like in the beginning, when Miss Letitia being a good mother and saying, look, I have some concerns about this woman, they were valid concerns. And those concerns probably never went away. And this is where we are now. And I feel like those concerns is something that any mother would have for her child if he was to meet someone that's half, older than him and that has children already, been married, divorced. I would have had a lot of concerns. And I just feel like there's always that chance that he could wake up and be mad at everybody, like, I'm mad.
Right.
And I just say thank you so much for the Cash App. I don't want to say your name because I don't want to say your name unless you want me to, but thank you so much. I don't even promote my Cash App, so thank you. I love you, and thank you. It means a lot to me. Okay. That was very sweet.
And to the person who said, I think it's Lonnie Kim Aussie Joy Full, maybe. I don't know. I can't really see what the last part says.
I can never get her.
I think it's Lonnie.
Is it Lonnie? Everything's upside down, which is so cool. I don't know how.
Oh no, it's Lonnie Kim Aussie Purple.
Oh, okay. Lonnie Kim Aussie Purple. I like that. I'm sorry. I always get her name wrong. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I think obviously we know that, like, worst case scenario, he'll never wake up. Best case scenario, he will wake up. And I just know for me personally that I am not going to stop praying for this man. And if people pray, great. If they just send positive vibes because they don't believe in God, that's okay too. But like for me personally, like I was always taught, and I guess this comes from like growing up playing sports and the way that my parents raised my brothers and I, that we always said when something was going to happen, not if. And maybe it's because it puts out that positive, stuff into the universe or whatever. But I think, we all understand that, the chances of this are not good, but I just know for me personally that I will always try my best to speak the positivity like into the universe, because, you can still do that and be realistic about it. I mean, I think a lot of us plan for the worst, but hope for the best. And Absolutely. This is one of those situations.
Go ahead. No, I think something she went.
No, sorry. I was just, that was all I was going to say, is just because I know that it's, the chances of that happening are slim, but then the chances of him, getting off the ventilator were slim as well. And we know that he is not on the ventilator anymore. And not only did that come from Dre, but that did end up coming from his mother. And, that was actually one of the things that Marissa actually apologized to Dre for, is she said, I'm sorry that we didn't believe you on that. And I thought that was nice, because again, do we ever see KJ apologize for things that she's done? I mean, that's kind of what you have to do. When you make a wrong, you need to apologize. And I think it shows that you're an even stronger person when you can actually apologize for being wrong with something. We can't always be right 100% of the time.
No, absolutely. And that's something I will always say. Like, I know I'm not right about anything. Well, I'm right about some stuff, but I am fully capable of admitting when I'm wrong about something, but you better prove me wrong about it. I'll tell you that much. But I think that I'm going to continue to talk about this case. I mean, how could you not? I feel so bad for the parent, the family. It is such a devastating case. It really, really is. And to see somebody like Katie Joy dragging this family through the mud simply just because they just didn't want any kind of association with her. I can't believe it. I just can't believe she did this to this family. And I don't think she's done either. I think whatever she can dig up about this family, she's going to continue to try to do so. And that's my warning to the family. She is relentless, and she's just that type that will dig and dig and dig so she can discredit you. That's just how she is. And it's a warning just to know what's coming, if that makes any sense. Allegedly, in my opinion, that's just how I feel. I feel she's just that type of person that just keeps going and going and going until she feels like she won. That's just how she is, in my opinion.
Yep.
I have epilepsy and seizure disorder due to head injuries from domestic V. I was put in a coma, and I'm not the same person I was once. It's hard to see this happening to someone. Oh, I'm so sorry, sweetie. You're here, and You're still strong, obviously. So that is amazing. And you are so strong for getting through that, sweetheart. You are so strong. Wow.
And your voice means, your voice means a lot to other people, who don't have a voice. I mean, there could be people in this chat that we don't know of that are literally stuck in that situation right now. And I know somebody asked if I have a channel. I actually don't have a channel yet. Tia knows I've been thinking about it because I would like to start a channel that just pretty much has to do with like DV and SA, and whether it's people coming, for help with ways of trying to get out or trying to cope, or, if you're getting ready to tell your family or go to therapy or whatever. But I don't currently have a channel. I've been thinking about it, and it just has kind of been put off because I feel like all these other things have come up. And so I'm just waiting.
I'm sure she will eventually, you guys. I'm sure she will.
At some point.
You have a voice, and your voice needs to be heard. And yes, you can do it here, but I'm saying when you have your channel, it's going to be awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And then once you start having seizures, you are not the same. I got a brain infection from C, and I have an autoimmune disorder. It's been 2 years. I had one last night. I'm so sorry, sweetie. Mrs. Shelley, I'm sorry. I don't know anything about seizures, but what I do know is it's definitely obviously hard. I had a friend who had one in front of me, and it's literally one of the most scariest things I've ever witnessed in my life. So you're in our prayers, and obviously you're strong as well because you're using your voice or comments right now, and I think that's amazing. So stay strong. God does not give us anything that we can't handle, right?
Exactly. Sometimes, we will feel like we're literally in the depths of hell, like going through things, but afterwards, it's kind of like, why did we have to go through that? But then sometimes you realize that the reason you went through that is so that you can help be a voice for other people. You can help somebody else who's going through it, whether it's maybe somebody who has seizures, somebody who has epilepsy, somebody who's been in a coma, somebody who's dealt with SA or DV or whatever, like there's always a reason, even if you feel like it wasn't worth it when you went through it, So I just want to say to everybody in the chat who's sharing their experiences and stuff with hardships that they've been through, like, your voice matters, and I'm thankful that you guys are still all here.
It's important, and I'm so happy that you guys are in here using your voice. It means a lot. It really does. It's nothing more amazing than being a survivor. Nothing more amazing than being a strong woman that stands up for your convictions, and you have integrity, respect, and to be able to open up and speak about something so vulnerable and so hard to express. That takes a lot of courage. It really does. Molly says an admin called her yesterday and said that she is banned from both groups. Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that she's not in the groups. I don't, I tried to tell the groups because I was literally probably, like I said, when I was in that group, it was like 1,000 people. And now it's like astronomical number. And I tried to tell them, luckily, thank God they didn't block me, because they blocked a lot of people that spoke about Without a Crystal Ball, and they were very defensive of her. And they're like, don't speak about Without a Crystal Ball. I mean it. You will be blocked. And to be honest with you, I was mad when they said that, but I understand that people have to learn things for themselves. I get it. And unfortunately, they had to learn that KJ is not a good person, ultimately. And I just don't think that she's ever going to be a good person. I can't wait to see these lawsuits. I can't wait. I think Goose said that the 7M one is going to be on. Is it going to be?
It's so
see it.
Well, I know it's going to trial in 2023. I can't remember what the date is, but all I know is that, like, watching all these different lawsuits and everything with KJ, like, that's the fastest one that literally just went to trial. I mean, usually everything else is paperwork back and forth and small hearings and everything like that. But this one, based off of what she said, is now set for trial. And I'm sure, I mean,
She never mentions that one.
well, exactly. So when she first started covering this case and she was doing a live, I think probably a lot of people here will remember seeing that one. She was like, yes, I've been in lawsuits and I've never lost one. And then I settled with Toddy because I was going to counter. I'm sorry, bitch, nobody thought that, you know, you were going to win against Toddy. Like, you literally settled because you realized that you were in the wrong. And so you bus rolled Clark Swanson to save your ass. I mean, it's what she does, you know? And so, yeah, she didn't mention that one at all. She just, you know, accidentally left that one out. And I was just going to say one other quick thing if there's anybody in this chat who did get kicked out of both of those groups, I would say maybe send a message to one of the mods and just tell them like, hey, you know, I'm sorry for what I said to upset you guys, you know, like I'd really like to be back in this group. Maybe they would give you a second chance, you know, I mean, it's worth a shot.
Like if there's anybody who got kicked out of that group because of expressing your concern about Without a Crystal Ball or, you know, whoever, I definitely would try to reach out to them and see if they could have you back, especially because Without a Crystal Ball is no longer in those groups. That would be a good thing. And I definitely see now why she is really upset because she got kicked out of, you know, the family doesn't want anything to do with her. And not only that, she gets kicked out of the groups. You know, I guess I would be pissed off too. I didn't know for sure if she got kicked out of the groups or not, but I think what's most important is I'm going to keep watching, and everybody else I'm sure is going to keep watching this Cash App because I feel like that's important. That's not something that's going to be forgotten, okay? Just because you're saying that you're no longer promoting it or anything like that, you once did. You promoted that Cash App knowing that you weren't talking to the father directly. You're talking to the father's friend, and you promoted this Cash App and you don't even know, to be honest, you're saying that you know for sure that that was a friend, but I don't know how you can know that somebody's a friend. I don't understand how that works. Like, what, he messaged you and sent you pictures of them from back in, like, what could a person do to prove that they are 100% a friend? And I'm sorry, but like I said, I guess I would do it if it was a family member, but not a friend. That just don't even sound right to me. So how do we know that he was a friend? How do we know? We don't.
Right. And that's why I wonder, like, in my opinion, I was trying to figure out, like, well, how would she know for sure? And so my only thought is if it's the wife.
Maybe.
But again, she says friend, which could be to protect them. But again, like, you know, it's just, that's the only source that I would think of that you could feel comfortable getting information from, you know, and being able to kind of verify like, okay, yeah, they do know them, you know. Otherwise, a friend could be anybody.
You know what I'm saying? I could message her and be like, I'm his friend, and somehow crop some pictures together or did something to prove that. And I'm just saying, you don't really know. And to me, just because supposedly you gave your opinion about the case and you may no longer be talking about it, doesn't mean we're going to let that part go. Like, that's important. This is other people's money. People donated to that Cash App, so they have a right to know, just like you're doing with Letitia and her family, saying you guys have a right to ask questions. You guys have a right to question, you know, about the attorney. You're right. Transparency is important. So where's the transparency when it comes to this Cash App? Because for some reason, allegedly, in my opinion, for some reason, it sounds sus to me. Something ain't right.
Right. She wants to think it's okay that the father has already spent $8,000 in the case with the girls, but they haven't even had like a big trial yet. I think they had maybe one hearing, but and it was just small to try to set up something, which I think is August 2nd or something like that. But so if there's $8,000 already spent there, then again, anybody who's worked with an attorney, even if stuff hasn't been done yet, for all we know, Letitia's attorney could already be at 8 or 10 grand because, like I said before, money goes fast. Like, it's almost like they pay per paper, like some do, some don't. That's kind of like a joke, but it's literally like they literally charge you basically like every 15 minutes that you're on the phone. At least mine did. It was like 15, every 15 minutes you get charged per the hourly rate. In a lot of cases, you're lucky if you can find an attorney that's $200 an hour. Mine was $350 an hour. And so yeah, I mean, my first attorney, just going to court one time was over $10,000 just to get the first initial paperwork put together in order to get a DVPO for both my daughter and I, go in before the judge and get a little, like a temporary thing put in place, not even a parenting plan, just like to get him out of my house. And I had to actually give him my fifth wheel to live in for a while because he was trying to get me kicked out of his house. Like, the stuff adds up fast. So
It does.
She should know.
Yeah, she definitely should know. You're right. Like, she has an attorney. She has been in litigation and all those types of things. So she should know as well as you do. And what I will say is, I just don't, I would have to see proof that really is a friend. And the fact that now she's trying to sweep it under the rug. Well, guess what? You can't sweep something like that under the rug, especially when you're trying to hold other people accountable for Cash Apps and GoFundMes. Well, you can't sweep this under the rug. You need to prove that beyond a reasonable doubt that is a friend of the father's, because it doesn't, and how a friend would get the court papers. But Goose is right. It could be his wife or somebody that just wanted to be called a friend. I have family members that I don't want to mention my name, immediate family. Right. So something ain't right about it. And we will continue to talk about that for sure. But I think you guys are absolutely amazing. This was a good conversation. I think we touched on a lot of things that I wanted to talk about.
Check your email.
Okay.
Someone just in the chat said, if you could check your email, please.
Holy crap. I have my iPad over here, and then I have my computer over here. My mouse is working for my iPad and not my computer. What the hell?
Gotta love that Bluetooth. Choosing which thing it wants to work for.
That is so weird. That has never happened before.
Maybe
Never.
just quickly turn off your Bluetooth on your iPad.
I didn't
and then
even
it
know
should
this was on.
And then it should switch back over to your computer.
Okay, this says Dre's custody court papers.
Well, and I just want to say too, like, somebody is saying, I'm sure that man has enough money working out here in California, but we can't. I would just say, like, because I try to do my best to see both sides, but I would say that we can't assume that somebody has enough money for when you have to go to court. Because I can tell you, I was making really good money when I ended up having to quit my job. And so you can have a really good paying job, but like, say $100,000 in some states or $200,000 in some states is not the same as it is in other states where, so I would just say be careful because it might look like, let's say, I don't know what the average cost of living is in say like a place like Wyoming or someplace like that, but then like New York or California or whatever, the cost of living is really, really high. So I would just say, if you see a number that seems high based on where you live, just put into perspective. Like, gas in California right now is, I think, like, what is it, $7 or $8 a gallon or something crazy like that. So,
It is.
It all really depends on where you live and if he has other kids and,
I agree 100%. I don't know how much, like, none of us know how much money he makes. But in the same sense, I do know, just like Goose just said, 350, like, and that's not just in every attorney, but attorneys can be very, very, very expensive. So that
and that was
doesn't
cheap.
necessarily.
Like that was cheap with where I live. Like I went to a family friend when I started, and so I got a discount. But and I'm just going to say this too, if people know, because I know some people in chat tried to put in here already earlier, like where the dad lived and how much money he made, please don't put that in the chat. If you know, please don't put any information that has anything, because again, if it was you wouldn't want somebody to put that information out about you, especially when you're really trying to not be the dad really is trying to stay out of it. He's trying to do what's best for his kids. And I don't think it's right to say how much. So.
Yeah, we want to respect the fact that he wants to remain, he wants to keep everything private. We want to respect his privacy. That's completely understandable. Like, regardless of how much he makes or anything like that, really isn't any of our business. Because at the end of the day, if that in any way, shape, or form that Cash App is fake, it's going to be proven. Like, eventually it's going to be found out. You know what I mean? If it was under false pretenses or whatever the situation is, allegedly, in my opinion, I really do feel like if it was any parts of it that's fake, we'll find out. But I think with the dad, he wants to remain private, and I understand that. He wants to do that for his kids.
Yeah, it's the safety of the kids too. I mean, for people who are saying, how much they want the kids to, be safe and end up in a safe place, like you could literally ruin the father's chances of being able to actually get custody of them, or even just have a safe place for them to go by putting out too much information.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And obviously we want what's best for the kids. And if he's trying to get custody of the kids and that's a better situation for them, remaining private is actually really important. Why do you think Dre's not saying anything? Dre's not saying nothing because I'm sure her attorney said, be quiet. Like, don't say anything.
Right.
It's not going to help your case. And he has to do the same thing too. People are selling their houses. Hold on. People are selling their houses for $500K. I just lost my rental for this reason. After 10 years, I had to move with my son. Oh, I'm sorry you lost your rental. The father is a private person. He seems like he is. Family's personal details should not be shared and should be kept private. We should think of how we would feel if we were in that situation. Absolutely. Thank you for respecting people's privacy. They often don't choose to be in the limelight, and many creators make the worst time in their lives even worse by violating. Yes, absolutely. Just like what KJ is doing. She's literally violating every part. But don't get me wrong, it's public records, which she showed. But here's the thing, and this is another thing that I think should make everyone question KJ. If she really cared so much about how this Vaughn's family is, and about Marvin Sr. past record, and about Wynette, and about Letitia, if she was really so concerned, how come she didn't share these things before she started covering this case, or during when she covered this case in the very beginning? You think KJ didn't know about these things? She looks up everyone. Do you think she didn't know about these things while she's been talking about this case? She knew, trust me, she knew that he had a past. She knew all of these things. She's only bringing it up now because things aren't working in her favor, but she knew about this probably from the very beginning, in my opinion. So if she knew about this, how come she didn't say anything then? If it was such a huge concern to her? Because she didn't care. She didn't care in the beginning. But now she does care because it didn't work in her favor. So now she's throwing them under the bus. That should show you right there her integrity and who she is as a person. A reporter tells a story no matter what. And if she cared so much about Marvin Sr.'s past and putting up his criminal record, then she would have did that from the very beginning. Period. KJ is the only person that has named the father correct. She's the only person that put the father's name out there. I don't know if that's
Yeah, she said he wanted to remain anonymous, and then she put his, like, either part of his, I know for sure she put part of his first name and his last name in a post, and she literally talked about exactly what he does for a living, which was stupid, in my opinion.
Yes, literally put everything out there, and I think it's probably because the father don't want nothing to do with her either. Judge character by their actions, not only in this case but others. Exactly. I just feel like she knew about this from the very beginning. So why is she saying it now? That just shows you her character, her integrity, who she is as a person. And she is not, she had bad intentions with this case from the very beginning. She's full of shit. That's all
I just want to say one thing to people in the chat. As much as I dislike KJ and her behavior, websites and YouTube channels that put out people's information, like their earnings, you have to remember that that is only a guesstimate, and really the only real number that sometimes you can get, and that's if the if like their subscriber count is public, or like if you're literally go through and tally up like what the super chats are and stuff. Otherwise it's usually a range, and then people need to realize that right off the top, YouTube keeps 35%, and then you get taxed. And so in most cases, people get taxed 25 to 30%, depending on their tax bracket. So right there, if you do the math, that's like 70%. So that means whatever you see them making, which in a lot of cases is the rounded up amount. So I'm not, obviously I have my thoughts about KJ, but I also want to make sure that we don't I would never want to put out like misinformation about stuff, because the different websites that are out there that try to calculate income, they also don't calculate, like if someone does a YouTube fundraiser, which you can do when you have 10,000 subs or more, they look at the I don't know, there's probably people in here that have been to a YouTube fundraiser, but the super chat button is gone and it's the fundraiser button. So like, for instance, if there's a fundraiser and the person raises like 10 grand, it'll show on those pages and those websites like they made 10 grand in super chats when they didn't. So just be aware of that, because it's really not as correct as people think it is. So just wanted to say that.
And what's not correct? The money that.
Yeah, so you know how sometimes there's like YouTube channels that'll try to break down like people's income, like what they make on YouTube or whatever. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times it's like, and then there's like a couple different like websites where you can type in the YouTuber and it'll tell you like a range of their super chats and a range of their like daily income, weekly income, monthly income. But when that happens, it's literally a range. And unless you're going through and literally counting every single super chat, a lot of times it's wrong, especially if YouTubers tend to do actual YouTube fundraisers, not like other not like a YouTube fundraiser is different, unless like you've seen it with your own eyes. It's not like the super chat button is not there. Instead, it's a donation button to whatever organization that's listed, whether it's like, say, missing and exploited children or St. Jude or whatever it might be. And those funds that are donated directly through a YouTube fundraiser go directly to the organization. But unfortunately, it shows for the creator as if they were getting super chats that day. So
yeah, that's just like you told me, like with subscribers. That's all.
Right. Yep. If you don't have, if the subscriber count is not on, it's going to show the very last time that you had public subs, like your subs were public. Otherwise, it's not going to show. And
I
so
think that's cool because I don't show mine because people are shady as hell. They count your
Mhm.
subscribers more than you do. So you don't need to know how many subscribers I have until
Right.
I'm ready for you to know.
Right.
You know, that's how I look at it. I've had people literally sit there and try to count how many subscribers I had and literally unsubscribe from me just because they wanted to see me fail and all that kind of stuff. Just to watch my subscriber count go down. And it's sad that people are like that, but people really are like that. People will literally sit there and watch unsubscribe from you and tell other people to unsubscribe from you just to watch your subscribers go down.
Right.
And they get off on that, and I think it's disgusting, and it just shows you, you know, it's pretty harsh out here on these YouTube streets, and that's why I keep my circle small, and I will continue to do so. So Money Talk said she's almost made 50,000 a year and broke it down. How? Really?
And that's the thing, it would be hard to know because they don't know, like, for instance, when you cover true crime and it's and a video is monetized, like, they're not going to know what your monetization is for a video because the amount of like ads and stuff that you can use, it changes, and you don't get paid as much because that's why we say stuff like DV and SA and unaliving and stuff like that, because YouTube's algorithm picks up on certain words. Same thing with when we talk about certain, like, we'll just say supplements that people take. You know, it's not supplements, but you know what I'm saying, like prescriptions or whatever. We try to not use the actual words even in the chat because the way that YouTube works with their algorithm is they will see these specific words, and then when you go to monetize a video, it can change how much the video actually gets monetized. So I think it would be really hard to tell, like, maybe on a video that wasn't covering true crime, it might be a little bit easier because there wouldn't be reasons for the video to be demonetized. But when it's true crime stuff, I would say it's very, very hard to try to calculate what somebody's making other than just their super chats. And again, if you count up their super chats, just take a good half right off the top, because with taxes and what YouTube takes, that's going to be like the most that they would make when they take it home. And most people, it's going to be even less than that because most people pay more than 20% in taxes.
Creators, especially smaller creators, we don't make much money off of YouTube like people think, and I don't know how people think that, but you know, like bigger creators, they can turn in a profit, but not smaller creators. It takes a lot. Live and learn. I have done that with other creators. Now I look through past videos before I became a member and watch a while. They usually show their true colors. Amen, Amber. That is so fucking true. That is so true. I've seen a lot of true colors from, you know, a lot of people that I've come in contact with on YouTube. But it's actually 3:30 here, so I'm gonna wrap
I'll
this
hop
up.
down really quick so you can say
All
goodbye to
right.
everybody.
Thanks, Goose, for coming up.
Thanks, guys, for being respectful in chat.
Yeah, they're amazing. Okay. You guys are absolutely amazing. You guys have been nothing but respectful. Thank you to my amazing mods, Goose and Sparkle X Baby. You guys are amazing, and I appreciate you guys so much. You guys literally make my day. I love coming. That's why it's so hard for me to only have a hour-long or 2-hour-long live stream, because it's so fun to talk to you guys. You guys interact, and it's like having a conversation with a best friend. So I appreciate you guys for being so respectful, for being so interactive, and I know that gossip, technically, because I guess that's what you can call it, drama that surrounds. Thank you, Jen Stevens. Thank you so much for being here, beautiful. You make my day. You guys really do. I know that drama surrounded around Without a Crystal Ball, it can get crazy. When I first started covering her, and I'm talking about recently, I've always covered her, but recently, this was prior to the case starting. I'm like, you know what? She has not changed. I'm going to do a video about her. And I did a video, and ever since I've done that video, I've met some pretty amazing people that literally are genuine and just want her to be held accountable for her actions, that literally just want, they're just so afraid that she's going to come across somebody that is in a very vulnerable position, that's in a very sensitive position, almost like Vaughn's family, who are in a very, very horrible position right now. She's going to come across somebody, and somebody's going to end up getting hurt because she doesn't care about how she treats people. She has no regard for anyone else but herself. And I always used to wonder why people call her out. And I used to feel bad for her. Like, literally, take my mint out of my mouth. Like, literally, I've been there, like a creator. Her name is Natasha. She's a racist piece of shit. But anyway, she literally, I felt bad for her because there were so many people making videos about her. I'm like, you know what? She can't be all that bad. I never really gave her a chance because I seen how she had treated other people. But I'm like, maybe she's not like that. Everybody else knew she was like that, but I'm like, maybe she's not like that. So I gave her a chance, and I learned, wow, she really is like that. She's like that, but worse. So I think when it comes to, sometimes a person's behavior can be so horrible that I've done so much research on Without a Crystal Ball. That other creator, the racist one I'm talking about, I didn't do that much research. I seen the way she treated people, but I'm like, maybe she's different. When there's so many people that do videos on one creator, and plus she's a smaller creator. Without a Crystal Ball has 200K plus people, So with her, I just watched her for so long screw over so many people, and it's like, I understand why people call her out. Now, the people that make fun of her looks and talk about, her life, as far as, we don't know what happens behind closed doors, none of us do. So who talk about her life and children and cross those lines, I don't believe in that. I don't stand by that. I stand by holding her accountable and using her own words and behavior against her. Okay. Some people can sit there and talk about everything under the sun about Without a Crystal Ball, but it's just using her own words and making her accountable for the things that she does, especially when it comes to how she doesn't have any regard for anyone else's feelings. She will throw anybody else under the bus. She will use any situation. She's almost like a trauma pimp. Like, she literally feeds off of other people's trauma and she turns it into content. And when things don't go her way, she starts throwing people under the bus. So I'm always going to call her out and hold her accountable for her behavior, but I'm never going to be that person to make fun of her looks and talk about her life and her kids. No, this is YouTube. You talk about her as a creator and her character. So I'm looking forward to trying to cover the 7M trial, all of that kind of stuff. But I will continue to always call her out because she deserves it, in my opinion. She showed it with this case. If you were ever willing to give Without a Crystal Ball the benefit of the doubt, you should see it very clearly now from the way she handled this whole case. She could have walked away from it. She could have continued to talk about it and didn't even acknowledge the parents once they didn't want nothing to do with her. But no, she throws them under the bus. She talks about them. She puts out all of their private messages that they talked about in private. You have to take that into consideration. People say things in private that they wouldn't say publicly. You really can't use that against people, but I'm all for transparency. I'm all for, if you're donating, you have to know where your money's going. That's important. There's nothing wrong with asking questions. I agree with that. What I don't agree with is putting out private info. And it's so sad that people predicted this. They knew it was going to happen. And it was like people were kind of desperate to stop it from happening, but it happened anyway. So I think the lesson to be learned here is anytime you ever think of giving that woman the benefit of the doubt, you need to rethink everything, because she shows in more ways than one that she is completely incapable of being a decent human being. She has no human decency at all. And that's just my opinion of her. Everything I say in my videos are alleged, but it doesn't matter. My opinion still stands. She has zero integrity, zero morals, and zero respect for anyone, including herself. So I will see you guys tomorrow. I love you guys. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your night or day, wherever you're at. I will be back on here tomorrow, probably to talk about the Dre McCray case. And if you guys ever need to get a hold of me, my email, everything is in my about section. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the Cash App. And thank you so much for being here and being so supportive and being so respectful. And thank you to my amazing mods, Goose and Sparkle. You guys are amazing. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for spending time with me. You guys could have been anywhere, but you chose to be spending time with me, and it means a lot. Love you guys. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave. If you haven't already, press the thumbs up button or thumbs down, whatever. It's all interaction, baby. Love you guys. Deuces. Love ya. Bye.